Chapter 797. Did he do it on purpose? I'll remember this. When House Kong becomes strong, I'll make them pay. Kong Ming Ming was just saying it. He couldn't do anything to Zhao Qibing. Master Zhao Ming, but I think this is a blessing in disguise. Wang Shubin shook his head and said to Kong Xiaoming. Oh. What do you mean? Is my broken leg a good thing? Kong Ming Ming froze. He was so angry that he wanted to curse. This Wang Shubin, he didn't know how to persuade people. Master Ming, think about it. Didn't you want to get a serious injury before? Wang Shubing said, look, isn't there one now? It's an accident, and Guan Axian won't suspect anything. Now that you mention it, it really is the case. Kong Ming Ming heard Wang Shubing's words and became happy again. Wang Shubing, you're right. My broken leg is a good thing. This time, I can go to Guan Axian directly. Yeah, Master Ming, and Li Zihua said that he'll compensate you for your medical expenses. This way, not only will you be able to get close to Guan Axian, but you'll also get money. This is killing two birds with one stone. Wang Shubing nodded. If we hurt ourselves, not only would we suffer, no one would compensate us. Ha! Then I'm so lucky. Ha! Today is my lucky day. I got so many things done, and I even got money. Wahahaha. Kong Ming Ming laughed when he heard that. The ambulance screamed all the way to the hospital and Kong Xiaoming was carried on a stretcher to the emergency room. Although Kong Ming Ming's injuries weren't light, he was still very happy. He was going to suffer anyway, and this was a good thing. He got himself a serious injury, and now Kong Ming Ming would be able to get close to Guan Axian. Other than the broken leg, Kong Ming Ming didn't have any other internal injuries. The surgery was done quickly, and Kong Ming Ming was pushed to the sick room to rest. Where's Guan Axian? Why isn't she here yet? Kong Ming Ming was lying in the sick room, and he was eager to try, look at my face and legs. It's so serious, hurry and get Guan Axian here. Master Ming, I'll go right now. Wang Shubing nodded. He thought that Guan Axian couldn't decline this time, could she? Thus, Wang Shubing rushed out of the sick room to find Guan Axian. He thought that this was Guan Axian's responsibility after all. Coincidentally, Guan Axian was still in the nurse's room. Wang Shubing ran in, and when he saw Guan Axian, he was overjoyed. Nurse Guan Axian, you're here. Master Ming is injured, and we need your help. Look, we don't have any friends in the hospital, can you go and take a look? Guan Axian didn't think that Kong Ming Ming wouldn't stop. He came looking for her every day. Why was this person so annoying? Was there an end to it? Are there no other nurses to take care of him? I didn't receive any notice to take care of Kong Ming Ming. Guan Axian pointed at her work schedule and explained patiently. Regardless of whether Kong Ming Ming was annoying or not, Guan Axian couldn't throw a tantrum. Guan Axian knew that she was a member of the hospital, and anything she said or did could affect the hospital's image. Especially when her father was a shareholder of the hospital. Guan Axian had to be strict with herself and not let others talk behind her back. Even if not many people knew Guan Axian's real identity, Guan Axian didn't want to bring shame to her father and grandfather. No, Master Ming is lying in the sick room, and I didn't see any nurses come to take care of him. I don't know who to look for, you're the only one I know here. Wang Shubing started to talk nonsense. No one cares. Guan Axian was taken aback. Seriously? Could it be that someone was negligent? This kind of thing wasn't impossible. The hospital sent too many patients at the same time. If there were careless doctors and nurses, then they might really have neglected a patient. Although Guan Axian felt that the guy Wang Shubing was talking about was more likely, it was a matter of life and death. Even if Guan Axian knew that it was fake, she couldn't ignore it because of her duty as a nurse and the family she represented. But didn't Kong Ming Ming just have a cold? Also, he had a small cut on his hand. Both of these illnesses weren't fatal. Yes, could you please go and take a look? Can you help bandage it first and then contact a doctor? Wang Shubing nodded. But didn't he stay in the hospital for a few days because of a cold? Why should I bandage it? This isn't under my jurisdiction, right? Guan Axian changed the topic and said sarcastically, could it be that the wound on his hand acted up again? This. Wang Shubing suddenly remembered that he was in a hurry and didn't tell her the whole story. No wonder Guan Axian didn't know what happened. He quickly explained, it's like this, Master Ming's cold is cured, and the wound on his hand is also healed. He was discharged from the hospital today. Then why is he bandaging it? Guan Axian was even more confused. After he was discharged, Master Ming went to the shanty town to do some work, but he ran into a developer who was forcefully demolishing the place. As a result, my boss was hospitalized. Both of his legs are broken, and his head is also injured. It's really miserable. Nurse Guan Axian, could you please go and take a look? Wang Shubing said pitifully. Ah. Guan Axian heard Wang Shubing's words and suddenly froze. No way. How could it be so coincidental? He just left the hospital and he's here again. Could it be that Kong Ming Ming got hit on purpose? It wasn't strange for Guan Axian to think this way. When she first met Kong Ming, Kong Ming was still full of energy, but then he was hospitalized with a cold. He came to find her to give him an injection. When he heard that she wasn't responsible for the injection, he made a wound and asked her to bandage it. When he heard that his wound was very small and didn't need to be bandaged, he made another serious injury today. Therefore, Guan Axian couldn't help but think that Kong Ming Ming purposely injured himself to get close to her. If that was the case, Guan Axian felt that Kong Ming was an idiot. Was there something wrong with his brain to chase after a girl like that? He should go see a psychiatrist or a neurologist. Nurse Guan Axian, you're the only person we know in this hospital. Could you please go and take a look? Wang Shubing saw that Guan Axian was shocked and quickly continued. Chapter 798. My family's fake Wang Shubin happily brought Guan Axian to Kong Xiaoming's room when he saw that Guan Axian had agreed. Kong Ming was overjoyed when he saw that Wang Shubing really brought Guan Axian. In order to arouse Guan Axian's maternal instincts and make her sympathize with him, Kong Ming started to cry. Ah, it hurts, my face, my legs. Guan Axian didn't think that a grown man like Kong Ming would be so fragile, crying in pain. Isn't the bandaging good? How come no one's taking care of it? Guan Axian saw that both of Kong Ming's legs were in plaster casts and splints. It was already taken care of. It wasn't Wang Shubing who said that no one was taking care of him. I mean no one's coming to take care of him. Wang Shubing laughed dryly. He wanted to trick Guan Axian into coming here first. As for what happened after she came, he would just play it by ear. His legs aren't normal injuries anymore, it's too serious. It's already considered orthopedic care. I can't do that, there's a professional orthopedic nurse to take care of it, Guan Axian said. I'll help him contact an orthopedic nurse. Ah. Kong Ming was dumbfounded. How come it's too heavy? The small cut was too light, and now it's too heavy. It's already upgraded to orthopedic care. But this wasn't something he could control. He didn't want to break his legs. Kong Ming was furious. He wanted to curse the people who did the demolition work in the slums. Why did they have to hit him so hard? Wouldn't Guan Axian be able to take care of him if they hit him a little lighter? Why did he miss out on Guan Xan again? Wasn't he too unlucky? That. Master Ming's legs will be taken care of by an orthopedic nurse, but I'm talking about the wound on his head. The wound on his head is also very serious. What if it's not treated properly and it leaves a scar? Wang Shubin's eyes lit up. He shifted his attention to Kong Ming's face. Nurse Guan Xan, look at how handsome Master Ming is. If he gets disfigured, he won't be able to face people in the future, right? We can't trust anyone else, so we can only trust an acquaintance like you. Kong Ming was overjoyed when he heard Wang Shubin's words. This Wang Shubin was indeed a strategist. His mind was fast. Just like that, he thought of a way to keep Guan Xan. Even he didn't expect it. That's right, his leg was too serious, but his head wasn't. It was just a big hole. Wasn't that Guan Xan's area of responsibility? So he quickly echoed, yes, it's still our own people who are sure of it. If it's an outsider, I won't be so careful. I don't want to be disfigured. Oh, I can't do it without leaving a wound. Guan Xan pouted, I'm not Dr. Kong, I don't have Dr. Kang's golden creation. My family's miracle Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine is fake, it's not effective. If you're afraid of leaving a scar, you should apply some Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine. It's very effective, and you have plenty of it at home. Ha! Kong Ming suddenly remembered that his family's Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine was the bane of external injuries. Moreover, Guan Xan's words were filled with sarcasm. Kong Ming knew that it was a counterattack to what he said in the bookstore that day. Kong Ming immediately regretted it. He didn't know what medicine he took that day in the bookstore. He actually forgot about the relationship between Guan Xan and Miracle Dr. Guan. Not only did he leave a bad impression on Guan Xan, but he also couldn't change his words. Most importantly, there was no way he could change his words. He couldn't just say that Miracle Dr. Guan was better than Miracle Dr. Kong, could he? Wouldn't that be tarnishing his own family's reputation? Alright, if there's nothing else, I'll be leaving. Our hospital's facilities are limited, we can't get Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine. You should prepare it yourself, Guan Xan said and left the room. Now she could confirm that Kong Ming was looking for trouble. He purposely sent Wang Shubing to find her. What he said about no one taking care of him was all bullshit. Kong Ming was a little dispirited as he laid on the bed. Why was he so unlucky? He thought that after he settled Xiaofen, he could easily pursue Guan Xan. But now it seemed that Guan Xan didn't have a good impression of him. Fuck, why am I so unlucky? Kong Ming cursed angrily. Master Ming, I think it's because Guan Xan's already on guard. Wang Shubing frowned and said carefully, when I went to find her, she sarcastically told me that the wound on your hand had relapsed. Obviously, she didn't believe in such a coincidence. You get sick every day, and this time is a little too close. That's true. Kong Ming nodded. If he thought about it carefully, this illness happened a little too often. It was hard to guarantee that no one would suspect him. As long as it was a normal person, they would find it unbelievable. But Kong Ming couldn't say it out loud. The previous 2 times were caused by himself, but this time, it was an accident. But the lesson from The Boy Who Cried Wolf was still very deep. Guan Xan didn't believe it anymore. No matter how sick Kong Ming was, it was all an act in Guan Xan's eyes. He couldn't do anything about it. Master Ming, if you can't do it, how about we change tactics? Wang Shubing hesitated. Change tactics? Change what tactics? Kong Ming was a little angry, then wouldn't I be injured for nothing? Why don't you try this pain instead? This. We still need to think about what to change tactics, but the situation right now is that you're injured, and Guan Xan doesn't believe you. Wang Shubing smiled bitterly. Kong Mingming suddenly lost his breath. Yeah, so what if he was suffering for nothing? Guan Xan didn't believe it anymore. She was already suspicious. If they continued, it would be the opposite of what they wanted. It looked like they really had to change tactics. But what tactics should they change? Kong Mingming felt that all the methods he used to pick up girls were useless. Before, all he had to do was send flowers, sweet talk, act cool, and bring the girl to the store to spend some money. Then it would be a piece of cake. But Guan Xan didn't fall for it. Sending flowers didn't have any effect. Sweet talk didn't seem to interest Guan Xan. Acting cool didn't even need to be said. Guan Xan's family wasn't bad either. She definitely wouldn't lack his money to buy things for her. Why don't you go online and see if there are any good tactics? Kong Mingming heard that there were a lot of people sharing their experiences in picking up girls, but he rarely went online, so he didn't know if there were any. That's fine, I'll go check it out later. Wang Shubing nodded, see if there are any good tactics, but I feel like you're lacking common topics with Guan Xan. You guys don't have much to talk about together. Chapter 799. Nervous you family, it's not that she has to be a nurse. Ming bro, we can find out about Guan Xan's hobbies and do what she likes. Wang Shubing said, being a nurse is just her occupation. I don't believe that she doesn't like to study other things, right? Yeah. Shubing, you're too smart. Your words are like thunder in my ears. You've enlightened me. Kong Mingming said happily, isn't Weibo popular now? Can you see if you can find Guan Xan's Weibo and see if she has any hobbies? Alright, leave this matter to me. Wang Shubing remembered the greedy nurse from yesterday. He would ask her again today and give her some benefits. He didn't believe that he couldn't find out anything. Yanjing City, House Yu's courtyard. Yukuin was lying on a bed with bandages all over his body. A beautiful middle-aged woman was wiping her tears while a man was pacing around the room with a worried face. Your son was beaten up like this. Why aren't you going to take revenge? Why are you pacing around? The beautiful woman was annoyed as she shouted at the man. She sounded like she was about to cry, House Yu is so arrogant. Now that they're being bullied, you've lost your temper. You bide, do you care about your son or not? Stop arguing. The man called you bide waved his hand impatiently, am I not worried? I don't even know who hurt Yukuin. He's been unconscious since he came back. All the meridians in his body were broken. He's a cripple now. I'm more worried than you. But what can we do? We still have to wait for my second brother to decide. The beautiful woman was speechless after being yelled at by Ubaid. She sat on the bed and wiped her tears. House Yu had been in the martial world for so many years, and they had never been hit like this before. This sudden disaster seemed to be far away from House Yu. All the noble houses in the common world, no one dared to disrespect House Yu, and no one dared to hurt House Yu. But now, not only did he injure Yukuin, he even caused permanent damage to him. He destroyed all of Yukuin's kung fu, turning him into a cripple. He could no longer practice spiritual techniques. Even if he practiced external techniques, it would be hard for him to achieve anything. Yukuin was second only to the head of House Yu's son. They had high hopes for him. But now, he was injured so badly that no one knew if he was dead or alive. At this time, a middle-aged man pushed the door open and walked in. There was a young man next to him. He looked very similar to Yukuin, but there was an arrogant look on his face. This middle-aged man was the middle-aged man from House Yu that had appeared at the auction, the current head of House Yu, Yu Bifu. He had the strength of a mystic late-phase peak, just one step away from Earth class. The young man next to him was his son, Yu Feng. He was second only to Yu Bifu in House Yu. He was at the peak of the early phase of mystic class. Second brother, you are here. You have to help my little Kuan. The beautiful woman saw Yu Bifu walk in and quickly stood up. She cried out, little Kuan's meridians have been destroyed. He is now a cripple. He will never be able to practice again. You have to kill the person who hurt him. That's right, little Kuan. Yu Bifu was shocked when he heard that Yu Kuan was injured. 2 days ago, Yu Kuan called him and said that he was injured. Then, there was no more news. Yu Bifu was shocked. He quickly sent people to Songshan to find Yu Kuan and bring him back to Yanjing. When House Yu found Yu Kuan was already unconscious. When they returned, House Yu's doctor quickly tried to save Yu Kuan, but the result wasn't good. His life was saved, but his martial arts were all gone. His meridians were all broken. He was now a cripple. When Yu Bifu heard the bad news, he rushed over with his son. We don't even know who hurt Yu Kuan. How can you talk about revenge? Yu Bifu frowned. Xiao Kuan already has the strength of a late-phase golden class. In this world, there aren't many people who can harm him. And those who can harm him are all friends of our Yu clan. Who would dare to make a move? This. Yu Bide was curious as well. Who was it that injured Yu Kuan? Logically speaking, those old men in the common world had a good relationship with House Yu. It couldn't have been them. And the hidden families were forbidden from interfering with the affairs of the world. Bide, you don't have to be too sad. Our House Yu is rich in resources. We have martial arts treasures. As long as Yu Kuan can keep his life, there is hope. He can still make a name for himself by practicing martial arts. Yu Bifu said, when the time comes, I will use all the wealth of the family to help him practice. Thank you, second brother. That's the only way. Yu Bide sighed. This was the best outcome since things had come to this. There's something fishy about this. Yu Kuan went to investigate the whereabouts of the map, but he was injured. As far as I know, the strongest physical practitioner in Songshan, Li Fu, is only at the peak of the late phase of golden class. Physical practitioners are one level lower than spiritual practitioners. In other words, he could only fight evenly with Yu Kuan. If he didn't have a deep grudge against Yu Kuan, he wouldn't fight him head-on. Yu Bifu said, I feel that the person who beat Yu Kuan up like this is at least a spiritual practitioner at the peak of the late phase of golden class. Second brother, do you think it could be someone from the hidden Zhao family who did this? Yu Bide suddenly asked, I heard that the illegitimate son of House Zhao, Zhao Qibing, has been jumping around in Songshan recently. He's doing demolition and building houses. House Zhao probably saw that a branch of House Yu was making money in the world and couldn't wait. Besides, House Zhao has never been on good terms with House Yu. Could it be that they hurt Yu Kuan? After all, only they have such strength. That's hard to say. It's possible. But I heard that the Fire Wolf Gang is also active in Songshan. Yu Bifu said, Songshan is a small place, yet there are so many forces. It's really complicated. If we don't handle it well, we'll be caught in the middle of the storm. This doesn't benefit House Yu. Whether it's House Zhao or the Fire Wolf Gang, they are not people that our House Yu can fight against. Chapter 800. Did Big Brother break through? Big Brother just entered Earth class last year. He hasn't gotten a firm foothold there yet. Only when he reaches the middle phase of Earth class will he be able to have a say in the family. Asking him for help will only make things difficult for him. Yu Bifu shook his head. Right, Bide, how's your training going? It's still the same. I've been stuck at the early phase of mystic class. I've placed all my hopes on Kuan, but who would have thought that such a disaster would come? Ubide shook his head sadly. It seems that in this generation of our Yu clan, only Big Brother can enter that place. Yubifu sighed. I think that in this lifetime, it will be very difficult for me to break through to the Earth grade, second brother, according to what you said, little Kuan's matter. Ubide paused for a moment and looked at Yubifu. Don't worry, Kuan is my nephew. I've already sent people to Songshan to investigate. If there's any news, I'll report back immediately. Yubifu said. That's the only way. Ubide nodded. Yubifu brought Yufeng out of Ubide's room. After walking for a while, Yufeng said, Father, I've said it before, Yu Kuan can't do it anymore. Let me go. Is this good? He's been crippled. But it's good. In the future, no one in our generation will be able to surpass me. What nonsense are you talking about? He's your cousin, how can it be good? Yubifu said angrily, isn't it better to have more masters in our house? I'm sorry. Yufeng wasn't convinced, he's too weak. If I had personally gone, he wouldn't have ended up like this. To be able to injure Yu Kuan without killing him means that he's only at the peak of the late phase of golden class. I'm already at the peak of the early phase of mystic class. With this strength, I can do whatever I want in the common world. You have to know that there's always someone better than you out there. Yubifu glared at his son. I know, but those powerful people don't appear in the common world anymore. Yufeng didn't take his father's words seriously. He was the leader of the younger generation in House Yu. In the outside world, he was also a domineering existence. Even the heads of the other houses didn't have his strength. How could he not be arrogant? Lin Yi didn't want to interfere with the relocation of the slums, but because of his appearance, Zihua increased the compensation amount. Zihua didn't want to interfere either, but he was afraid that Lin Yi would cause trouble. Xiaofen's family successfully received the compensation of 180,000 renminbi, which was considered quite high. As for those broken appliances and furniture, they weren't even worth 1,000 renminbi. Xiaofen's mother beamed with joy when she received the money. Adding it all up, she now had a total of 680,000 yuan. It was more than enough to buy a big house. Hence, she started to think about buying a house. Xiaobo, can you talk to Lin Yi and show us the house? Xiaofen's mother whispered to Kong Xiaobo. She had already treated Kong Xiaobo as her son-in-law. I heard that he knows a developer, so he can get a discount. Then I'll ask. Kong Xiaobo knew that this would trouble Lin Yi, but he couldn't just ignore Xiaofen's mother's request, right? And so, Kong Xiaobo found Lin Yi and told him about Xiaofen's mother's request. Lin Yi agreed without hesitation. He had already promised Tang Yun about this. Lin Yi called Tang Yun's mother and Tang Yun. Tang Yun's mother had just gotten her new house, and it was very fresh. She wanted to check on the progress of the renovation today. Hearing that Lin Yi was going, she was happy to tag along. And if Tang Yun's mother went, Lin Yi would be in an awkward situation. It wasn't that Lin Yi hated Tang Yun's mother, but Tang Yun's mother was too powerful, and Lin Yi wasn't used to it. However, Lin Yi understood her. Tang Yun's father had broken his leg, and Tang Yun's mother had been raising a family for so many years. In her heart, money was the most important thing. It was unrealistic to change her, and Lin Yi didn't want to change her. The person Lin Yi liked was Tang Yun, not Tang Yun's mother. Tang Yun's mother liked money, so he gave her some money. To Lin Yi, it was just a drop in the bucket. Mingyao Audi S5 obviously couldn't accommodate so many people. Lin Yi asked Fatty Lai to send a car to pick up Tang Yun and Tang Yun, but he didn't expect Fatty Lai to personally pick up Tang Yun and Tang Yun. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. This fatty lie was too attentive, and it was hard to guarantee that Tang Yun's mother wouldn't see through it. Tang Yun's mother was a little restrained when she saw her boss, Fatty Lie. On the other hand, Kong Xiaobo and Tang Yun had seen Fatty Lie before, and they also saw him crying at Lin Yi's feet, so they didn't have any respect for him. What kind of house do you want? Fatty Lie greeted Kong Xiaobo and Tang Yun passionately, and then asked Tang Yun's mother. I'm just wondering if there's a cheaper one. It's fine if the location isn't good. Xiao Fen's mother said cautiously. She originally thought that she would have to use all sorts of methods to get a cheap house, but she didn't expect the person who came to receive her to be so generous. Do you have one? Fatty Lie turned his head and looked at Lin Yi. Lin Yi was so angry that he almost kicked Fatty Lie. Do you have one? Why are you looking at me? Ugh. Can I have this one? Lin Yi didn't say it clearly before, so Fatty Lie wasn't sure if Lin Yi wanted to help Tang Yun's mother. From Fatty Lie's point of view, a house was small, but it would be bad if Lin Yi was unhappy. Fatty Lie knew that Lin Yi wasn't a person who liked to help others, so when he cried and begged Lin Yi didn't help him at all. If he didn't have perseverance, how could he become Lin Yi's follower? So, Fatty Lie had to ask for Lin Yi's opinion on the house for Tang Yun's mother. Tang Yun's mother was stunned by Fatty Lie. Huh? Mr. Lie, do you have one or not? I think so. Tang Yun couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh at Fatty Lie's angry face. Yes, of course I do. Fatty Lie saw that Tang Yun said there was one, so he must have one. He laughed. I'm just wondering if there is one or not. I have too many things to do today, so I can't remember clearly. That's great. Tang Yun's mother was very happy when she heard that there was a special price house. She quickly asked, where is it? Can you bring me there? Sure, let's go, we'll go now. Fatty Lie nodded. Chapter 801. Tang Yun, annoyed little Lie, do you think there's a special sale in the building I bought? Mrs. Tang asked. Auntie Wang, the building you bought. Fatty Lie thought. That building was newly opened, and other than the one I sold to your family, I haven't sold anything else yet. How could there be any special sale? But since Mrs. Tang asked, Fatty Lie replied, I think there is. Shall we go take a look later? Then let's buy that building. It's close to my house, and Yin and Fun are close. They can see each other often if they are together. Mrs. Tang said. Fatty Lie brought Xiaofen's mother, Lin Yi, and the others to the building that Mrs. Tang had bought. The lighting was great, and it was one of the best buildings in the entire district. How could there be a bad location? But since Mrs. Tang had spoken, Fatty Lie found a small apartment on the top floor and brought Fun's mother and Lin Yi up. It was a small apartment with 2 bedrooms and a living room. Although the living room was a little small, only 40 square meters, the layout was good, and the lighting was good. Fun's mother fell in love with it at first glance. She asked Fatty Lie, Mr. Lie, how much is this apartment? This type of apartment, the original price was 380,000, but it's on the top floor, and it's in Cold Mountain, so it's cheaper. It's only 300,000 now, Fatty Lie said. Ah. Only 300,000. Fun's mother was shocked. She had to pay 180,000 for her old 30 square meter house, and now this new 40 square meter house only cost 300,000. Wasn't it too cheap? As for the top floor and Cold Mountain, it wasn't a problem for Fun's mother. She used to live on the top floor and in the side suite, and the heating wasn't very good, so she lived there. This kind of house with collective heating was much better than her old house, and the quality was pretty good too. So Fun's mother fell in love with it immediately. Yeah, only 300,000, Fatty Lie nodded. This kind of top floor is usually sold at a discount. That's great. We'll take this one then. Xiaofen's mother nodded and made the decision. Right now, Xiaofen's mother had $680,000 in her hands. This house only cost $300,000. After buying the house, she would still have $380,000 left, which was enough to buy furniture and appliances. Fatty Lie called the sales manager to sign the contract with Xiaofen's mother and paid the money. The house was now under her name. Xiaofen's mother didn't expect to buy a house so smoothly. She was extremely grateful to Tang Yun's mother and Lin Yi. If it wasn't for them, she wouldn't have been able to find such a cheap house. Tang Yun knew that Fatty Lie was willing to sell Xiaofen's mother a house at such a low price because of Lin Yi. How could this house not be sold at the end of the auction? Whether it was the layout or the lighting, they were all quite good. Buying it for only 300,000 yuan was simply too cheap. Xiaofen looked at Lin Yi gratefully. Her mother didn't understand, but how could she not? Xiaofen knew that Fatty Lie begged Lin Yi to treat his father's illness. Fatty Lie was probably grateful for Lin Yi's kindness, which was why he sold her a house at such a low price. Boss, thank you. Kong Xiaobo whispered to Lin Yi, I'm really honored today. Ha! Lin Yi smiled, you and Fatty Lie call me boss, so you guys should help each other. Lin Yi's words touched Kong Xiaobo instantly. It was rare for a boss to do what Lin Yi did. Kong Xiaobo didn't feel that he had done anything. He only contributed because of Lin Yi's passion when he first came here. When Zhong Pingliang was looking for trouble with Lin Yi, he impulsively stood up with Lin Yi. As a result, he gained Lin Yi's recognition and friendship. After Xiaofen's house was settled, Mrs. Tang couldn't wait to see her own house. She heard from Fatty Lie that the renovation had started yesterday. Xiaofen's mother also wanted to follow Mrs. Tang to see how Tang Yun's house was renovated. Tang Yun's house was spacious and bright. It was 3 times bigger than Xiaofen's house. However, Xiaofen's mother wasn't envious. It was already a surprise that her family could afford such a house. What was the use of being envious? However, Xiaofen's mother was still looking forward to Mrs. Tang winning the special prize. She couldn't help but ask Fatty Lie, Mr. Lie, can I still participate in the lucky draw? Mine is a special price house. Xiaofen's mother was afraid that she wouldn't have the chance to win the lucky draw. She asked anxiously. Yeah, when you get to the sales office, you can do it once or twice, Fatty Lie said with a smile. Mrs. Tang looked at Xiaofen's mother who was looking forward to it and sighed. She knew clearly how she won the special prize. With Xiaofen's mother's luck, how could she win? Mrs. Tang thought about her luck and couldn't help but sympathize with Xiaofen's mother. She looked at Lin Yi and her daughter and then at the smiling Fatty Lie. She couldn't help but ask, Little Lie, can we give the leftover materials to Xiaofen's family? Mrs. Tang also wanted Xiaofen's family to save some money. If she had more materials, she could give it to Xiaofen's family to ease her family's urgent need. Ah! This! Fatty Lie couldn't help but look at Lin Yi again. How could there be leftover materials for the renovation? The materials were prepared according to the size of the house, so there wouldn't be any leftovers. Lin Yi tilted his head and couldn't help but find it funny. If you have more, then so be it. If not, then so be it. Why are you always looking at me? What do you want me to say? Fatty Lie saw that Lin Yi didn't object and said, Okay, I'll talk to the person in charge later. If there are leftover materials, we'll install it together with Xiaofen's family. We don't even need the labor fee. I think there are quite a lot of materials here. It's more than enough to renovate 2 houses. That house is small, so we'll install it together. Ah, how can I do that? Xiaofen's mother didn't expect that Mrs. Tang's words would save her a lot of money. She didn't even need to renovate. Wasn't this Mr. Lai too easy to talk to? Okay, since little Lai said so, you don't have to reject it. Tang Yun's mother felt that she had a lot of face. She could get Xiaofen's family's renovation fee with just one sentence. Chapter 802. Tang Yun's uneasiness. Tang Yun felt useless. Not only was she unable to help Lin Yi, but she also had a greedy and prideful mother. But she was her mother, and she couldn't scold her in front of so many people. Tang Yun was in a difficult position. She looked at her proud mother and stomped her feet anxiously. He was already troubling Lin Yi for his own family, so why did he have to trouble Lin Yi for someone else? Tang Yun didn't know what to do, but she felt someone holding her hand. The familiar and warm grip made her feel at ease. She raised her head and saw Lin Yi smiling at her. Ah, Tang Yun jumped. You. When did you come here? Lin Yi was with her mother and Xiaofen's family to look at the renovations. She didn't go in, and her mind wasn't on the renovations anymore. She was thinking about what her mother did, so she didn't notice Lin Yi coming over. What are you thinking about? Lin Yi noticed that Tang Yun's expression was a little unnatural, as if she was troubled and embarrassed. Nothing. Tang Yun couldn't tell Lin Yi what she was thinking. I helped Xiaofen's family because of Kong Xiaobo. Xiaofen isn't only your friend, but also Xiaobo's girlfriend. Lin Yi could guess what Tang Yun was thinking. Buying a special price house for Xiaofen's family was already a loss for Fatty Lai, and now she wanted Fatty Lai to renovate Xiaofen's house as well. But it was nothing to Lin Yi, and Fatty Lai wouldn't care about such a small amount of money. Thank you. Tang Yun felt much better after hearing Lin Yi's words. She looked at Lin Yi with a gentle gaze. She thought about her and Lin Yi's relationship. It was rough, but it was smooth. Tang Yun had to tread on thin ice. From the misunderstanding she had towards Lin Yi to the deep feeling she had for him, Tang Yun didn't want to lose this feeling easily, so she was extra careful. Actually, you don't have to worry too much about it. Your mother has suffered a lot. Lin Yi saw through people very well. Uncle Tang broke his leg and is bedridden. Auntie Wang is supporting the family by herself. She can only bury her grievances in her heart. She can't talk to you and Uncle Tang. She has been silently supporting herself for so many years. Now that she finally has a chance to show off, a chance to be proud of herself, she naturally won't let it go. Tang Yin didn't know whether to laugh or to be angry. She glared at Lin Yi. Don't make it sound so bad. My mom's a little snobbish, but she's still a good person. I know, so didn't I cooperate with her? Lin Yi shrugged. I'll talk to her about it when I get home. I don't want to make things difficult for you. Tang Yun and Lin Yi were able to talk about it. It seemed like Lin Yi didn't really care about it. It's not that difficult. Lin Yi shook his head. But, I'm afraid that your mom will meet a big boss who's richer than me. What if she sells you to him? How would that happen? Tang Yun shook her head. Unless she kills me. Ha. Lin Yi held Tang Yun's hand tightly. Let's go. This is your home. You should at least give some suggestions, right? Okay. Tang Yun's heart knot was untied. Her mood improved. She followed Lin Yi around the new house. This house was really big. Tang Yun never thought that one day her family would be able to afford such a big house. She didn't want to leave after walking in. At night, Tang Yun decided to have a good talk with her mother in the hospital. Mom, how could you let Fatty CEO Lai renovate Xiaofen's house today? Tang Yun pouted. Don't you know that renovation materials are very expensive? How could he buy extra? Besides, even if he bought extra, he would decorate it for other people who won the special prize. How could he have extra? Look at you. Xiaofen's family is in such a difficult situation. Xiaofen is your good friend. You should help if you can. Mrs. Tang said disapprovingly. But, you're troubling him. Wouldn't Lin Yi owe him a favor? Tang Yun was pissed off by her mother's words. Good friends were good friends. She would help him as much as she could. But if it was beyond her ability, she would be putting on a strong front. Oh, what favor? Mrs. Tang glared at her daughter. Don't think that I can't tell. That Xiaofen is one of Lin Yi's lackeys. Ah. Tang Yun didn't expect her mother to see through this. She was surprised. Am I right? Mrs. Tang couldn't help but feel proud. Look, no matter what I ask him, he would look at Lin Yi as if asking for instructions. He's so respectful. He even treats you the same way. Do you think I don't know? What did you call him just now? Fatty lie, right? You're even lying to your own mother now. You're very familiar with him, right? You're putting on a show for me, aren't you? Mom. Tang Yun's face reddened. She wasn't good at lying. She felt ashamed when her mother saw through her. Humph, look at that Xiaofen's attitude. He even called me auntie. He's the CEO of a company. How could he be so respectful to a housewife like me? We're asking him to do something, not the other way around. Do you think I'm blind and can't see it? Also, that special prize I won, special prize my ass. It was an electric kettle. But he said I won the special prize. Mrs. Tang continued. Do you think I don't know? Xiaofen is trying to get on Lin Yi's good side. You child, you don't know how to use this relationship. Why don't you just ask him to give us a house for free? Tang Yun was infuriated by her mother's words. She was talking about her mother, but now she was being used against her. Tang Yun was speechless. She couldn't help but panic. Isn't that just troubling Lin Yi? Even if he's his follower, isn't he still Lin Yi's? Isn't what Lin Yi has yours? Why are you so dumb? You're his girlfriend, so you're Xiaofen's sister-in-law. Mrs. Tang said matter-of-factly. How is that the same? You've been doing all this. I owe Lin Yi more and more. I feel like I can't even lift my head in front of him. Tang Yun raised her head, agitated. She looked at her mother stubbornly. Do you know that there are a lot of girls who like Lin Yi? I'm not helping him at all. I'm troubling him every day. How am I going to compete with others? Chapter 803. Chapter 803, Orphanage. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Tang Yun cried from anger. She didn't understand her mother's reasoning. Although Lin Yi was right, her mother had suffered too much in the past, and now that there was a chance, her pride would be inflated, but Tang Yun still couldn't accept it. Although Lin Yi didn't say anything, Tang Yun felt that it was too much with her personality. Mrs. Tang shook her head and looked at her daughter. Right, you haven't told me yet. What's the relationship between Lin Yi and the two girls yesterday? They're my love rivals. They're richer than me, and they're going to push me away. Are you satisfied now? Tang Yun said hatefully. She stood up and ran to the washroom, crying her heart out. Love rivals. Mrs. Tang paused. It doesn't look like it. The amount that Qibing Real Estate paid out today was almost double of what they had expected. Although Qibing Real Estate could still earn money if they paid out at this price, they had invested too much into the Qibing skyscrapers. The profits from the development of the slums weren't enough to cover the losses from the 2 skyscrapers. From the current situation, it would be good if they could maintain a profit of 30 to 50 million. It was impossible for them to make more than that. They had budgeted for a skyscraper, but with the addition of Lin Yi, this dream was shattered. Zhao Qibing was sitting in the RV. He was furious when he heard the news. Both his legs were broken, so he didn't appear at the demolition site. Instead, he sat in the RV on the roadside and watched everything from a distance. I haven't even started my business yet, and I've already lost 200 million. If I can't even get a project back, how will House Zhao look at me? Zhao Qibing glared at Sihua. He had entered a half-crazed state. His ambition of building a business was completely shattered. It was good enough as long as he didn't lose money. Master Bing, Lin Yi is an unstable factor. We didn't think of him before. Who knew that someone like him would appear in Songshan? Sihua sighed as well. The days he'd had in Songshan were no more. He was nothing but a fart in front of Lin Yi, and Lin Yi didn't even put him in his eyes. Lin Yi, just you wait, I won't let you go. Qibing clenched his fists tightly. Master Bing, can you talk to the boss and ask him to send out a master to kill Lin Yi? Sihua suggested after some hesitation. Lin Yi's appearance made Sihua feel like he had to act cautiously. It was a very uncomfortable feeling. I'll ask. Zhao Qibing vaguely knew about the rules between the hidden houses. Earth-class masters weren't allowed to appear in the world at will, and if a hidden house broke this rule, they would become the enemy of the other hidden houses. Zhao Qibing didn't know if this rule was real or fake, but no hidden house had broken this rule yet. It was a fact that no Earth-class masters had appeared in the world. But my father is quite dissatisfied with me now. The most important thing now is to build up the company. If there are results, then everything will be fine. Zhao Qibing was too embarrassed to ask his father for help. He hadn't done anything yet, so how could he ask his father to send a master to help him? With Lin Yi interfering with the slums, we can't make too much profit. We can't skimp on materials when we're building, can we? This is related to our reputation. If someone exposed us, we won't be able to sell our house. Sihua knew that if he wanted to make a long-term business, he couldn't make a fuss about the quality of the building. Have you contacted the orphanage? I think it's a good piece of land. It's big, and the location is better than the slums. It's good to demolish it and build a high-class villa area. Zhao Qibing asked. Not yet. Didn't they just decide on this 2 days ago? I'm going to contact them later. Sihua replied. It's just a private orphanage. Let's just say some harsh words. I don't believe they'll dare to resist. Zhao Qibing said, how about this, we'll go and negotiate with them later. Okay, let Zhong Fabai's men follow as well. We'll intimidate them a little. Sihua nodded. The matter was settled. A little later, Zhao Qibing, Li Sihua, and Zhong Fabai brought a group of men in black. Other than the 2 who were crippled by Lin Yi who were sent to the hospital, the group arrived at the private orphanage in the slums. A Mercedes-Benz RV, a Mercedes-Benz sedan, and 2 Jinbei vans suddenly appeared in the courtyard of the orphanage. This kind of lineup had never been seen before, and it scared the children playing in the yard. Sihua pushed Zhao Qibing out of the RV, and Fabai and the other men in black stood beside Sihua and Zhao Qibing, looking like bodyguards. Call the person in charge here. Zhong Fabai yelled at the children fiercely. Who are you? What do you do? Xiao Ken heard the noise in the yard and ran out of the red brick house of the orphanage. He was also shocked when he saw the scene. Do you have anyone who can talk to you? Fabai didn't put Ken in his eyes. He wouldn't talk to a child. The dean was talking to Xiaoke in her room when she heard the commotion in the yard. She quickly came out with Xiaoke to the yard, only to see Sihua, Zhao Qibing, and the others, as well as a group of men in black. She was shocked. "I'm the dean of this place. What brings you here?" the dean said as he looked at Sihua coldly. The man looked familiar. With that, the dean turned to Ken. "Ken, take the children back first. There's nothing for you to do here." "Yes, Dean." Ken didn't dare disobey. He quickly left with the other children. He knew that this wasn't something kids could interfere with. "Let me introduce myself. I'm Sihua, and this is Master Zhao Qibing, the chairman of Qibing Real Estate." Sihua introduced himself before introducing Zhao Qibing. "Sihua. So it's the famous Sihua of Songshan City." The old director finally recognized who the visitor was. "However, I wonder what Boss Li is doing here in my small orphanage." Chapter 804. Overbearing Master Bing. "Oh, so it's a developer who wants to buy our land." The dean nodded, understanding Sihua's intentions. "Our condition is simple. We don't want money, just build a well-equipped orphanage somewhere else, and we'll give it to you," Xiaoka stated her condition straightforwardly. This was what she had agreed on with the dean before. "You're right. You're the orphanage you're looking for." There had been developers who'd come to the orphanage to discuss the relocation, but Xiaoka's reconstruction plan was too complicated, and there wasn't much profit to be made. Qibing noticed Xiaoka as well, his perverted eyes scanned Xiaoka's body back and forth. So pretty. This girl looked pretty good. Was she from the orphanage as well? Qibing's heart itched. He hadn't touched a woman for a long time after his leg was broken, and he couldn't help but salivate at the sight of a beauty like Xiaoka. "Sure, but I think you're pretty good. Come be my secretary, and I'll agree to whatever you want," Qibing said as he looked at Xiaoka lustfully. He was only making a casual promise, and once he got his hands on Xiaoka, he wouldn't care about the conditions anymore. "I'm sorry, but I can't leave the orphanage. You should find someone else." Xiaoka looked at Qibing with disgust as she rejected his suggestion. Don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Fabai didn't think that the people from the orphanage would be so stubborn. "I'll talk to you nicely now, but since you don't want to talk nicely, we'll see." "What, you're threatening my old woman?" The dean smiled coldly as she looked at Sihua. "Sihua, you're a famous figure in the underworld of Songshan, but I'm not afraid of you. You're not the only boss who's been eyeing my orphanage these years. Do you know why they gave up?" Sihua paused as he looked at the dean, puzzled. Was there more to this than met the eye? Could there be some other power behind this orphanage? "Zhou Tiandi has a man called Uncle Yen, a golden class master," the dean said faintly. Zhou Tiandi had thoughts about the orphanage as well, but he gave up after weighing the pros and cons. You know about golden class?" Sihua looked at the dean in disbelief. Golden class strength wasn't much of a secret to someone like Sihua, after all. He had 2 golden class masters under him, but they were killed by that madman Lin Yi. "I'm not talented, but I'm also golden class." The dean's aura exploded in an instant, and Sihua, Fabai, and Zhao Qibing all felt a suffocating pressure coming from him. Although they weren't cultivators and couldn't accurately distinguish the level and strength of their opponents, Amos' aura was indeed similar to that of a cultivator. Sihua didn't doubt the dean's words this time. He didn't expect a golden class master to be hiding in a small orphanage like this. No wonder the orphanage hadn't been demolished after all these years. It turned out that they had some scruples. Golden class. Qibing laughed coldly. "My father is an Earth class early phase, and my grandfather is an Earth class late phase peak. What's a golden class to them?" Qibing wasn't wrong. His father, Guanyin, was an Earth class early phase, and Elder Zhao, on the other hand, was an Earth class late phase peak. He was currently looking for an opportunity to break through the Earth class and step into the Sky class. But to break through from Earth class to Sky class was a huge chasm, and many people couldn't achieve it in their entire lives. But, even if it wasn't Sky class, an Earth class was scary enough. Cheebing was in a rush to take down this orphanage, and he couldn't be intimidated by some golden class. He had to use his father and grandfather's strength to intimidate them. There was no other way. Otherwise, with his identity as an illegitimate son, it would be a huge taboo to reveal his background. If House Xiao found out, they'd definitely have a problem with him. If Uncle Zhu wasn't injured, and Zhang Long and Li Yao weren't dead, Cheebing wouldn't reveal his background like this. But now that all his masters were gone, and he didn't even bring Yao Wang with him, he couldn't just leave like that, could he? The dean thought that her strength would be enough to intimidate them, but she didn't expect that the young man with the broken leg beside Sihua would say that his father was an Earth class early phase, and his grandfather was an Earth class late phase peak. This shocked the dean. She didn't think much of Cheebing before, and only paid attention to Sihua. But now, it seemed that if this young man wasn't bragging, then it must be true. May I ask your father's name? The dean asked after a moment of silence. My surname is Xiao, my name is Xiao Cheebing. Cheebing didn't say his father's name casually. He wasn't stupid, he knew that he was an illegitimate son, and some things were better left unsaid. He knew that if the dean was a practitioner of the world, she would know the meaning of his surname and would be able to guess it. Xiao. The dean's face changed instantly, and she looked at Cheebing in disbelief. You're the hidden house Xiao, humph. Some things, you shouldn't know too much. Cheebing laughed coldly. I'll give you two options now. Cheebing Real Estate has another piece of land in the suburbs, and it's twice the size of yours. If you agree, we'll exchange it with you at the same price. Also, we'll compensate you according to the current price of the land, and after you get the money, you'll have to find your own way. You. The dean was speechless from Cheebing's overbearing words, but she didn't dare to act recklessly. Naturally, she was a practitioner of the world, and naturally, she knew the strength of the hidden house Xiao. It was a power that even the 4 big and 5 small noble houses didn't dare to mess with. Of course, what the dean didn't know was that although Cheebing's words were scary, he was only the illegitimate son of the head of House Xiao, Xiao Guanyin. Even Elder Xiao didn't really approve of him. That's all I've said, think about it yourself. Cheebing laughed coldly. Remember my words, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences. Chapter 805. Chapter 805, House Yu's visit. Xiaoke, don't say anything. The dean knew the importance of House Xiao, and he jumped in fright when Xiaoke opened her mouth. He quickly stopped her. Girl, you're quite feisty, but I like it. Cheebing looked at Xiaoke once more, the threatening look turning into a perverted one. My conditions are still valid, you can come find me when you've thought it through. Who the hell would come find you? Xiaoke glared at Cheebing, not understanding why the dean was so afraid of this wheelchair-bound cripple. Humph, I hope you don't regret it, ha 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 ha. Cheebing laughed coldly. He was drooling over Xiaoke's beauty, but he wasn't in a rush. His leg wasn't healed yet, and it wasn't convenient for him to play with women. It wouldn't be too late to wait. Xiaoke. The dean was afraid that Xiaoke would say something else and anger Cheebing. She could tell that this guy didn't know any kung fu and was a complete idiot, but the mountain of power behind him was suffocating. Xiaoke opened her mouth, feeling wronged. Wasn't he just good at bragging? Your father was an Earth class early phase, your grandfather was an Earth class late phase peak, and your whole family was full of masters. Why were you a piece of trash? Who knows which good person will break your legs for you? Let's go. Qibing looked at the dean in disdain before waving his hand at Sihua. Sihua pushed Qibing into the RV, and Fabai and the men got into the van as well. The 4 cars sped away from the orphanage. These men weren't of much use at all. In front of a golden class master, these men were useless. Qibing had wanted to use these men to scare the orphanage, but after seeing that the dean was a golden class master, he decided to change his strategy. Master Bing, will there be a problem if you reveal your identity as the boss? Sihua asked worriedly after getting into the car. Problem? What problem would there be? What did I say? I didn't say anything at all. Zhao Qibing shook his head. What I said was the truth. My surname is Zhao, my father is an Earth-class early-phase master, and my grandfather is an Earth-class late-phase peak master. But I didn't say that I'm from the hidden house Zhao, she guessed it herself. That's true. If that's the case, the boss probably won't say anything. Sihua realized that Qibing had never mentioned that he was from House Zhao, nor did he mention the names of his father and grandfather. It was just a vague hint, and the rest was just the headmaster of the orphanage's own guess. Sometimes, you have to learn to borrow strength to fight back. Qibing said. Give them a few days to think about it, and then bring some men to scare them. I don't believe they won't give in. Oh. You want to bring someone along. What's the point? Sihua paused. Of course it's useful to bring the king pharmacist along. Qibing said. Yao Wang's practice isn't good at attacking, but he's still a mystic. I don't believe that he can't scare that old woman. It was only then that Sihua remembered that there was a mystic class master in the house. No wonder Master Bing was so arrogant. He didn't even need to ask for help from his boss, he could easily take care of the orphanage. He nodded, I understand. The 4 cars drove back to the floating cloud bar. It was only 4 in the afternoon, and the bar wasn't officially open yet. But there was a black Buick MPV with Yanjing license plate parked in front of the bar. Sihua frowned. The MPV was parked in front of the bar, and this was the bar's private parking lot. People who weren't customers weren't allowed to park their cars here. Sihua pushed Master Bing out of the car, and the MPV's door opened as well, and a young man walked out of it. Sihua froze when he saw the young man. He knew this man. It was Yu Haitian, the person in charge of House Yu's business. He was from Yanjing's House Yu. Yu Haitian, on the other hand, saw Qibing in the wheelchair and froze. How did Qibing become disabled? Master Bing, what are you doing? Yu Haitian walked over, surprised. He was from House Yu, but he knew Master Bing's identity. He treated him with respect. Isn't this Tian bro? Master Bing also knew Yu Haitian's identity. He was a descendant of the hidden House Yu in the mortal world, and he was the illegitimate son of House Zhao. It could be said that their identities were equal, and no one could beat the other. The woman from House Yu married into House Zhao, and she was the legal wife of Zhao Guanyin, Qibing's father. However, this kind of marriage was only a marriage of benefits. The relationship between House Yu and House Zhao wasn't very harmonious. This was because House Zhao was envious of House Yu's business in the common world, and they wanted to make a name for themselves in the common world. However, because of the agreement, they couldn't make a move. The reason why House Yu ended up in this situation was because of a combination of factors. The hidden House Yu was a branch of the House Yu that had been kicked out of the common world. In reality, they had nothing to do with the common world's House Yu, but as the hidden House Yu grew stronger, the common world's House Yu naturally attached themselves to them, willingly becoming a money-making tool for the House Yu. The branch became the main branch, and the main branch became the branch. It sounded funny, but it was the truth. It couldn't be replicated, and the other noble houses couldn't do it even if they wanted to. So now, House Yu became the leader of the 4 big and 5 small houses. The hidden houses wanted to interfere with the common world's business, but they couldn't do it because of the agreement. There was a historical reason why House U was like this. House U claimed to the public that this common House U had nothing to do with them, but whether they had anything to do with it or not, everyone knew very well. It was just that it had become a fact, and they couldn't do anything about it. House Xiao also wanted to create a puppet to work with House U, but because they wanted to create a new common world noble house, and it didn't match House U's current interests, they were rejected. So the relationship between House Xiao and House U became tense. However, on the surface, the relationship between the two houses was still good. So when Yu Haitian came to Songshan, the first person he visited was naturally the illegitimate son of House Xiao, Xiao Qibing. He was different from Yu Kuan, who came here in secret. He came with a legitimate reason, so he had to show his face. Chapter 806. Chapter 806, Master Bing's complaint. Qibing didn't hide it from Haitian, since it wasn't a secret in the upper-class society that Lin Yi had broken his leg. All the noble houses had seen it, and Haitian would know the truth if he asked around. There was no need for him to lie. It'd be even more awkward if he was exposed. Oh. There's a madman who dares touch Master Bing. Where did he come from? Is he tired of living? Even a noble house wouldn't dare do something like this, would they? Haitian asked, surprised. Let's talk inside, this isn't a good place to talk. Qibing made an inviting gesture to Haitian. Although there were some conflicts between the upper echelons of House Yu and House Xiao, it didn't affect Haitian and Qibing's personal relationship. Both of them belonged to the outer circle of the two noble houses, and with their connections, they could enrich their own strength. Sihua knew who Haitian was, and he didn't dare walk side by side with him. He pushed Master Bing from the back, letting them walk side by side into the bar. Qibing invited Haitian to sit on the sofa, and Qibing sat in his wheelchair. Tian bro, I'm sorry, but I can't get up to greet you. What are you saying, Master Bing? We're brothers, there's no need for so much etiquette. Haitian smiled. How did you break your leg? Can you tell me? I'm new here, and I don't know much about the situation in Songshan. Don't mention it, it'll just make me cry. Qibing sighed. You know who I am, bro. I'm the illegitimate son of House Xiao. It's a bit awkward, so I want to do something for House Xiao, so that I can have a place in the Zhao family. I understand. Haitian nodded. He understood Qibing's awkwardness. He was the son of House Xiao's current head, Zhao Guanyin, but he was an illegitimate son, and his identity was quite sensitive. That's why I came to Songshan, Sihua's turf, to develop real estate. Qibing said. But I didn't think that a guy called Lin Yi would appear out of nowhere, and he'd be involved in everything. All I did was tear down his girlfriend's house and ruin her face, and he broke my legs, Lin Yi. Haitian paused. The name was familiar, wasn't it one of the suspects that the head of the house, second Uncle Shuixing, had asked him to investigate? The name of House Yu's head, Shuixing, was written incorrectly. It was written as Yu Bifu. I hereby correct it. But Yu Haitian found it strange as well. Lin Yi dared to hit Zhao Qibing. Didn't Zhao Qibing have any masters by his side? Even if he was an illegitimate child, the Zhao family couldn't possibly ignore him, right? So he asked curiously, when he hit you, was there no one around to protect you? Uncle Zhu was there too, Zhao Qibing sighed. He's a mystic class master. He's still lying on the bed after exchanging a palm strike with Lin Yi. You can go see him later, you know Uncle Zhu too. See, Haitian couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air after hearing Qibing's words. Uncle Zhu, of course, he knew this person. He used to be very famous in the martial arts world, but he joined House Xiao's side. Although his strength didn't increase much over the years, he was at the early phase of mystic class. Now that he was heavily injured after exchanging a palm strike with Lin Yi, he was still lying on the bed. Just how strong was Lin Yi? But Uncle Zhu was already lying on the bed, so how good could Lin Yi be? Haitian was surprised that Lin Yi had the strength to exchange a palm strike with Uncle Zhu, but he didn't think that Lin Yi was that strong. If he was strong, he would have killed Uncle Zhu instead of lying on the bed. How's Lin Yi now? Haitian asked after the shock. He's alive and kicking, as if nothing happened, Zhao Qibing said with hatred. Ah. No way. Uncle Zhu is lying on the bed, how could Lin Yi be fine? Does that mean that Lin Yi's strength is unfathomable? Haitian asked in shock after hearing the news. It's not that unfathomable, but according to Uncle Zhu, Lin Yi is at most at the early phase of mystic class. As for why Lin Yi is alive and kicking now, it's because Lin Yi is a medical master himself. Zhao Qibing didn't hide anything and told him the truth. Zhao Qibing wasn't an idiot. Although the recent series of events made him a little muddle-headed and impulsive, he was still a smart person. In front of Haitian, he had regained his usual calmness. As far as Zhao Qibing was concerned, Haitian was doing well in Yanjing. There was no way he would come to Songshan for a vacation. He must have a reason for coming here. Haitian, on the other hand, was paying close attention to Lin Yi. Could it be that he was here for Lin Yi as well? If House Yu went to deal with Lin Yi, it would reduce the pressure on Zhao Qibing. Besides, House Yu was the #1 noble house in the common world. They had a lot of masters. It wasn't something that a bastard son like him could compete with. He's a mystic class master. Which faction did this person belong to? How come I've never heard of a mystic class master like this? Haitian was shocked by Lin Yi's identity. Lin Yi seemed to have appeared out of nowhere. Otherwise, House Yu had records of all the masters in the common world, and House Yu had collected information on almost all the masters in the common world, but they'd never heard of someone like Lin Yi. I'm not sure. Zhao Qibing shook his head. There's nothing I can do to him now. Uncle Zhu is still recovering, and you know that Earth-class masters can't just casually appear in the world. Your little brother's life is tough right now. Haitian had a plan in his mind. After he heard that Lin Yi was a mystic class master, he was sure that Yu Kuan was injured by Lin Yi. Because Lin Yi was one of the people Yu Kuan was looking for, it was reasonable for Lin Yi to injure Yu Kuan. But what shocked Haitian the most was Lin Yi's strength. A mystic class master. Or even higher. Haitian didn't think that Lin Yi was just a medical master. House Zhao didn't lack medical masters. Wasn't Uncle Zhu still lying on the bed? The fact that Lin Yi was able to appear in Songshan as if nothing had happened meant that he had the strength to back it up. What do you want to do, Master Bing? You wouldn't let Lin Yi go so easily, would you? Haitian asked calmly. So what if I don't let him go? I don't want to let him go, but he won't let me go. Zhao Qibing rolled his eyes and smiled bitterly. He extorted 300,000 from me today. Chapter 807. Chapter 807, Lin Yi's background. It's a long story. Zhao Qibing told you Haitian about how he and Lin Yi became enemies, how Lin Yi destroyed his skyscraper, and how Lin Yi blew it up when he tried to rebuild his skyscraper. Yu Haitian, who was listening on the side, was stunned. This Lin Yi was so amazing. If what Zhao Qibing said was true, then Lin Yi was the one who beat Yu Kuan up. With Lin Yi's unscrupulous style, he could even break the legs of House Zhao's bastard, let alone House Yu's Yu Kuan. And Yu Haitian finally understood why Zhao Qibing swallowed his anger and didn't go after Lin Yi anymore. He did, but he couldn't do anything to Lin Yi. Instead, he was the one who got into trouble. So this Lin Yi seems to be quite powerful. Yu Haitian didn't come to fight Lin Yi this time. He was here for information, so whether Lin Yi was strong or not had nothing to do with him. He couldn't practice martial arts due to his body, so he was put in charge of House Yu's business and information gathering. You can say that, Zhao Qibing said faintly. Tian Bro seems to be paying a lot of attention to Lin Yi. Oh, actually, this isn't really a secret, Yu Haitian sighed. My cousin Yu Kuan was crippled in Songshan City. What? Your cousin? Yu Kuan. Zhao Qibing paused. I remember that Yu Kuan is a golden class late phase master, right? How did he get crippled? Lin Yi didn't do this, did he? It was no wonder that Zhao Qibing thought of Lin Yi immediately. His conversation with Yu Haitian was all about Lin Yi. I'm not sure yet, but from what you said, it should be the case. Yu Haitian shook his head. Yu Haitian shook his head. I won't hide it from you, Master Bing. I came to Songshan to gather information. Yeah, with your cousin Yu Kuan's strength at the late phase of the golden class, ordinary people wouldn't be able to cripple him. I think in Songshan, only Lin Yi can do it. Qibing said. The other masters aren't as strong as Lin Yi. We have 2 golden class masters from House Zhao, and they were killed by Lin Yi. Oh. 2 of your Zhao family's golden class masters were killed by Lin Yi. Yu Haitian was surprised. Lin Yi had injured Uncle Zhu and Zhao Qibing. Although he was arrogant, he had only injured people. He hadn't crossed House Zhao's bottom line. After all, it wasn't right for a hidden house to stand up for an illegitimate son and a mystic class master. But with 2 golden class masters killed by Lin Yi, the situation was different. Although golden class masters weren't much in the eyes of a hidden house, they were masters among masters in the common world. Even in a hidden house, having 1 more golden class master meant more power. How could they not care about it? Lin Yi had killed 2 golden class masters, and House Zhao didn't do anything at all. Haitian couldn't believe what he was seeing. Those 2 were Tsihua's men, 1 golden class early phase and the other golden class late phase. Zhao Qibing smiled bitterly. Tsihua sent them to kill Lin Yi, but they disappeared. They were found dead at the bottom of the cliff. Oh. That's serious. Yu Haitian was surprised. Does House Zhao plan to let this go? Tian Bro, you know that my identity is very awkward. Although my father is the young master of House Zhao, there's still an old man above him. If the old man doesn't say anything, my father won't be able to send an Earth-class master to deal with Lin Yi. Zhao Qibing smiled bitterly. My family's mystic class late phase masters have all gone into isolation under the old man's request to find an opportunity to break through to Earth class, so I really don't know how to deal with Lin Yi. Is that so? Yu Haitian didn't say it out loud, but he was frowning in his heart. He didn't believe that House Zhao would just let it go like this. This wasn't a small matter. A hidden house had 2 golden class masters killed by a nameless kid, injured a mystic class master, and even broke the legs of their bastard son. Wouldn't they be the biggest joke in the world if this got out? How could House Zhao not care? There had to be something behind this. Maybe Zhao Qibing didn't know, and Zhao Guangyin didn't tell him. Maybe Zhao Qibing knew, and he didn't tell him the truth. But no matter what, Yu Haitian was on high alert. He decided that he had to be careful when he reported this to his second uncle. Now, I don't ask for anything else. I just hope that this god, Lin Yi, doesn't bother me and let me earn some money. If Tian Bro can deal with Lin Yi, I'll definitely help you. If you need anything, just say the word and I'll definitely help. Zhao Qibing hoped that House Yu could step in and get rid of Lin Yi. He didn't have a choice, but House Yu was very strong. Even in the common world, they had a mystic class late phase master. Getting rid of Lin Yi shouldn't be a problem. This Lin Yi, what's his background? Which side does he belong to? Yu Haitian asked calmly. I'm not too sure about that. Zhao Qibing shook his head. My father did some research and asked the other hidden houses, but they didn't seem to know anything about Lin Yi's background. Now that I look at it, this Lin Yi is Pengzhan Industries, Pengzhan's daughter Meng Yao's follower. He lives with Meng Yao and Yushu every day. Is he hired by Pengzhan? Hired. A mystic class master working as a follower for a normal businessman's daughter. Why does this sound so ridiculous? Yu Haitian felt that this mystic class master was too worthless. That's the truth. Everyone in Songshan knows about this. Zhao Qibing said. In the beginning, I asked Sihua to deal with Pengzhan Industries. I won't hide it from you. I was interested in Pengzhan Industries' wealth and wanted to take it for myself. The few times I tried to deal with Meng Yao, it was all because of this Lin Yi, causing my plan to fail. No one would believe that Lin Yi wasn't Meng Yao's follower. Otherwise, why would he stick his nose into other people's business? That's strange. Yu Haitian frowned as well. This Lin Yi's background is a bit strange. According to what you said, Lin Yi's background isn't that powerful. If Pengzhan could hire him, how powerful could this mystic class master be? But how could a normal person become a mystic class master? Chapter 808. Chapter 808, House Yu's decision. Alright, I'll report this to the head as well. Yu Haitian nodded. It seems like we'll have to think long and hard about how to deal with Lin Yi. Let's have dinner together. Qibing and Haitian were done talking business, so he invited Lin Yi. As far as he was concerned, Haitian now had a common enemy with him. Their relationship could take another step forward. No, I still need to investigate Pengzhan Industries and Lin Yi's situation. I'll report to the head and come up with a plan to deal with Lin Yi as soon as possible. Haitian said. That's fine, next time then. When my leg recovers, we'll go out and have some fun. Qibing didn't ask him to stay. He knew that Haitian had something urgent to do. After leaving the floating cloud bar, Yu Haitian didn't dare to waste a second and sent the information he had gathered to House Yu in Yanjing. Shuixing, Yu Bide, and Yu Feng were all sitting outside Yu Kuan's room. This time, the beautiful middle-aged woman, Yu Kuan's mother, wasn't there. This was a family meeting of House Yu, and only the second, third, and second son, Yu Feng, were present. House Yu's elder and eldest had already broken through to Earth class. Elder Yu was in seclusion all year round, and the eldest had gone to the other side to continue his training. Thus, the only ones in charge were the two brothers and the younger generation, Yu Feng and Yu Kuan. Of course, there was another branch of House Yu, Haitian's branch, but Haitian wasn't suited for martial arts. His parents passed away early, and he was the only one left to manage the business. What do you guys think about the news that Tian sent back? Shuixing looked at the information on Lin Yi with a serious expression as he asked Yu Bide and Yu Feng. Second brother, now, I am 90% sure that Lil Kuan was hurt by this Lin Yi. Yu Bide's eyes were filled with deep hatred. Yu Kuan wasn't as talented as Yu Feng, but he was still a genius in the eyes of the noble houses. He had the strength of a golden class late phase at such a young age, and his future was limitless. But he didn't expect to be injured by Lin Yi. How could Yu Bide not feel heartache and hate him? Yes, that's our current guess, but we'll have to wait until Kuan wakes up to find out the truth. Shuixing nodded. Second brother, are we just going to let it go now? Little Kuan was injured for nothing. Shouldn't we take revenge on that Lin Yi? Yu Bide said anxiously. Of course not. Shuixing waved his hand. But do you think Zhao Qibing's an idiot? Are the hidden Zhao family fools? This. Yu Bide froze as he vaguely thought of something. Lin Yi broke the legs of House Xiao's bastard son, Xiao Qibing, and even injured Uncle Zhu, an early phase mystic. He even killed 2 golden class masters. What kind of hatred is this? Shueixing asked lowly. Do you think House Xiao would just let this go? This is no longer a matter of face, this is a provocation. No, but they. Yu Bide's breathing tightened and his expression was a little shocked. Then, what are they afraid of? Xiao Qibing's not telling the truth. Shueixing nodded and waved his hand. I don't know if Xiao Qibing's telling the truth or not. He's just a bastard son of House Xiao. It's hard to say if he's able to touch the secrets of the upper echelons of House Xiao. But the upper echelons of House Xiao haven't done anything yet, and Lin Yi is still alive and kicking in Songshan. Doesn't that mean something? Second brother, you're right. I was a little rash, I didn't think it through. Yu Bide nodded seriously. You're eager for revenge, I understand. Shueixing sighed, but don't I want revenge for little Kun as well? You're his father, but Kun is also a member of House Yu. Then, second brother, you mean that we should? Yu Bide asked carefully. Wait and see. Shueixing didn't have any good ideas. I think we should figure out Lin Yi's background first. We'll wait for Kun to wake up and confirm that it's Lin Yi's doing, then we'll make a decision. Alright. We'll let Tian investigate more in Songshan then. Yu Bide nodded. But our business in Yanjing still needs Tian to take care of it. Shueixing was a little hesitant, but Kun's matter was of utmost importance. Father, let me go to Songshan and meet that Lin Yi. Tian bro doesn't know martial arts, and it'll be dangerous over there. I'm already a mystic early phase peak, that Lin Yi won't be able to do anything to me. Yu Feng volunteered, I'll go investigate, it'll be safer. Shueixing didn't think that Yu Feng would volunteer to go to Songshan to investigate. Using him to replace Yu Haitian wasn't a bad choice, but Shueixing was afraid that Yu Feng would cause some trouble. He was young, after all, and hadn't gone on many missions. He'd been training at home all this time. But thinking of Yu Feng's current strength, Shueixing didn't think that there was anything to worry about. He was a mystic early phase peak, and Lin Yi was most likely an early phase as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to fight evenly with Uncle Zhu. Shueixing didn't think that it was because Lin Yi didn't dare kill Uncle Zhu. If he was afraid of offending House Xiao, then he wouldn't have killed the 2 golden class masters. Kun's case was the same. Lin Yi's strength had just entered the mystic class, and it wasn't stable yet. Even Kun didn't die. As for the 2 golden class masters from House Xiao, they died from an accident. From Shueixing's point of view, Lin Yi must have used some sort of plan. With Yu Feng's strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to dominate Songshan. Father, there's no one more suitable than me. You and third uncle can't go yourselves, can you? Yu Feng said. Alright, you can go, but your main mission is to find out more about Lin Yi, not to cause trouble. Don't get into any conflict with him. Shueixing hesitated before agreeing. Of course I won't cause trouble, but I'm afraid that he'll cause trouble for me. That's even better, I won't have to find an excuse, I'll kill him with one slap and avenge Kun. Yu Feng said proudly. Let's try not to get into a conflict. Shueixing didn't say anything definite. If it was really as Yu Feng said, and he was bullied, he couldn't just not fight back, could he? No one would be able to say anything even if he was beaten to death. Even if Lin Yi had a background, House Yu wasn't a pushover. If he was beaten to death, then so be it. Who would dare do anything? With that thought, Shueixing calmed down. Chapter 809. The orphanage's worries. In the orphanage, the dean and Xiaoke were sitting opposite each other in her room. Xiaoke asked impatiently, Master, what is that hidden house Xiao? Why is that Xiao Qi being so arrogant? Hidden house Xiao. The dean sighed. You've heard of the 4 big and 5 small noble houses, right? Of course I've heard of it, they're very rich and powerful. Xiaoke said enviously, if I knew where their hometown is, I could go there and we wouldn't have to worry about our living expenses anymore. Nonsense. Is that a place you can go? The dean glared at Xiaoke and scolded seriously, if you go, you won't be able to come back. Ah. Is it that serious? Xiaoke stuck her tongue out in fear. I'm just saying it casually. You can't just say it. Do you know how strong these noble houses are? They have a lot of golden class masters, and even mystic class masters. How many lives do you have to go there? The dean scolded, don't do anything irrational. Oh. I understand. Xiaoke nodded, feeling a bit regretful. If only she could go steal from them once. She asked, is that hidden house Xiao one of the 4 big and 5 small noble houses? No, they're from a hidden house, even scarier than the 4 big and 5 small noble houses. The dean shook her head, there are many masters in the hidden house, but I heard that they don't care about the common world. Otherwise, the 4 big and 5 small noble houses wouldn't be considered a noble house. If that's the case, why is that Xiao Qibing here? He's not lying, is he? Xiaoke heard the dean's words and asked curiously. I can't be sure whether it's a lie or not. We can only take it one step at a time. If he really sends an expert over, your master's meager strength won't be enough to deal with him. The old principal shook his head. Then aren't they being too much of a bully? Why? Then what about the children in the orphanage? Xiaoke was a little pissed off. She wasn't happy at all. Bully? I guess so, but what can we do? You're no match for him at all. The old dean sighed. Moreover, my identity cannot be exposed. Otherwise, there will be big trouble, Master. Back then, you. Xiaoke wanted to say something but stopped. She'd asked many times before, but her master was always vague about it. He didn't say a word about what happened back then. Xiaoke was very curious. You better not know about these things. The master said faintly, otherwise, you will be in trouble. Oh. Xiaoke was curious, but she shut her mouth after hearing her master's words. The case of the kidney trafficking organization finally came to an end. The main culprit, Tattooed Bro, was sent to the court. Pinliang and Jiang Wen, as the victims, testified against the kidney trafficking organization in court. Jiang Wen felt disgusted and amused. The kidney trafficking company was his, but he had to prove that he was a criminal. Pinliang saw that Jiang Wen was a victim in court as well. He was surprised, but at the same time, he was overjoyed. Jiang Wen's kidney was taken too. Wasn't he the one who controlled the kidney trafficking company? How did he become a victim too? What a karma! Jiang Wen tricked him to death, and he finally got his retribution. His kidney was taken too. Pinliang didn't think it was possible, but since Jiang Wen was here as a witness, the police must have confirmed it. His kidney had been cut off as well. After returning from the court, Jiang Wen was finally free from the police's surveillance. The first thing he did was call Zhong Pinliang. In court, he saw that Pinliang kept looking at him with a weird expression. He panicked. He hoped that Pinliang wouldn't spill the beans. Luckily, Pinliang only smiled weirdly and didn't say anything inappropriate. Jiang Wen didn't know what Pinliang was trying to express. Was it sympathy? Was it weird? Or was it gloating? Jiang Wen knew that in Pinliang's heart, he must hate him for taking away one of his kidneys. But now that he accidentally gave his kidney to Pinliang, he should be appeased, right? However, no matter what Pinliang was thinking, Jiang Wen decided to contact Pin Liang immediately and ask for his kidney back. Although he could buy another kidney, it wouldn't be as good as the original one. Xiao Fu accompanied Pin Liang back home. Pin Liang had been tormented quite a bit recently, and the first thing he did when he got home was take a shower to wash away the bad luck. With Miracle Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine, his wounds were already healed, and Pin Liang's body was recovering quite well. Liang bro, this Jiang Wen thing is quite weird. His kidney was taken too. Isn't he the one who controls the kidney trafficking company? Xiao Fu asked curiously. Who knows? But it's good now. Not only did he lose the kidney trafficking company, but he also lost his kidney. I feel better now. Pin Liang nodded. Right, how's Lin Yi recently? Same as always. He's very powerful in school. No one dares to mess with him. Xiao Fu sighed. Right, Liang bro, when is Naipeo coming back? When he comes back, we can have our revenge. I'm not sure yet. If we're not busy these few days, we can go up the mountain to see if he needs any help, Pin Liang said. Okay, I want to see how Naipeo is doing too. Xiao Fu nodded. He was looking forward to Naipeo's return. The two were talking when Pin Liang's phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and saw that it was an unknown number. He picked it up. Hello. I'm Pin Liang, who's this? Liang, I'm Jiang Wen. Jiang Wen sounded very friendly. Oh, Wen bro. What's up? Pin Liang's face changed. Why was Jiang Wen calling him? Why was he looking for him? Hey, Liang, I have something important to tell you. Jiang Wen didn't hear the unfriendliness in Pin Liang's tone. He couldn't see Pin Liang's expression, so he continued, how's your kidney? Did anything happen? Chapter 810. Chapter 0810, Gao Xiaofu's dirty move. Liang Yi, I'll be honest with you. I wanted to give Lin Yi's kidney to you, but that Lin Yi kid was too cunning. He suddenly jumped up and knocked me out right before the operating table, and I was the one who was pushed to the operating table. The doctor gave you my kidney. Jiang Wen explained bitterly. Wah. Pin Liang's eyes widened. Seriously? Was this the truth? No wonder Lin Yi was alive and kicking, no wonder Jiang Wen's kidney was cut off. Lin Yi's kidney was given to him. Pin Liang couldn't help but laugh at Jiang Wen's misfortune. You cut off my kidney. Are you happy now? Did you learn your lesson? Your kidney was cut off, right? You've been cutting off other people's kidneys all day, and now it's your turn. No wonder his kidney didn't match, it was the wrong one. No way, right? You're that unlucky. Pin Liang pretended to be sympathetic, but he was actually very happy inside. Yeah, I'm so unlucky. Bro, we're brothers in the same boat now. Jiang Wen said with a sob. Brothers in the same boat. I have a kidney now, how can we still be brothers in the same boat? Pin Liang said it on purpose to piss Jiang Wen off. Og, your kidney is mine, and we don't need to match. So, to avoid more trouble, why don't you give your kidney back to me first? If it dies, it'll affect your health. Jiang Wen said. But I'll help you find a matching kidney. Give it to you. Fuck, you're dreaming, aren't you? You want to give it back after torturing me? Are you kidding me? Plus, it's already dead, where can I get it for you? You want to find a matching kidney for me? Who are you kidding? Your kidney trafficking organization has been destroyed. Where are you going to find a matching kidney for me? Pin Liang didn't believe Jiang Wen's words. He hated Jiang Wen to the core. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have been left with only one kidney. The kidney was already dead, and even if it wasn't dead, Pinliang wouldn't give it back to Jiang Wen even if he dug it out and threw it away. Is that so? Then I'll go to the hospital to see if it's a match. Pinliang said indifferently and hung up before Jiang Wen could reply. Jiang Wen could only smile bitterly as he held the phone. He knew that Pinliang didn't believe him and wanted to take his kidney for himself. However, he could only pray that Zhong Pinliang wouldn't be able to find a match in the hospital. That way, Zhong Pinliang wouldn't be able to use the kidney anymore and would return it to him. Pinliang hung up the phone with a face full of disdain. He laughed coldly and said to Xiaofu, "This and Jiang Wen wants my kidney. What a fool's dream." Xiaofu was very close to Pinliang, sitting right next to him. There was no one else in the house, so it was very quiet. Xiaofu heard everything Jiang Wen and Pinliang said over the phone. He added, "Yeah, even if the kidney wasn't dead, we wouldn't give it back to him, let alone the fact that it's already dead. If it wasn't for him, would you have become like this, Brother Liang? You don't even have the confidence to pursue Meng Yao now." "Yeah, Pinliang, swear that I won't let Jiang Wen go. When Nightpao comes out, I'll make him pay for everything." Pinliang gritted his teeth. "Liang bro, I have a good idea. We don't need to wait for Nightpao to come out and teach Jiang Wen a lesson." Xiaofu's eyes lit up. "Oh. Do you have any good ideas?" Pinliang asked quickly when he heard that Xiaofu had an idea. "Liang bro, didn't Jiang Wen ask you for a kidney? If that's the case, we'll give him one." Xiaofu grinned. "Give him one? Where would we get it? We've already lost the dead kidney." Pinliang didn't understand. "Besides, even if I had one, I wouldn't give it back to him. I hate him so much, why would I give him a kidney?" "Liang bro, let me finish first." Xiaofu lowered his voice and said mysteriously, "I said we'll give him one kidney, not the original one. We can give him another kidney. I heard that dog and pig kidneys look similar to human kidneys, we'll give him a dog kidney." "Ha! Oh. That's a good idea, but will it match?" Pinliang's eyes lit up. "Who cares? It's best if he's not a good match. We'll torture him a little and let him enjoy the pain of having his kidney removed after a kidney transplant. By then, he'll be stabbed 3 times too." Gao Xiaofu said sinisterly. "Yeah, why didn't I think of that?" Pinliang was overjoyed at Xiaofu's suggestion, "We'll give him a dog kidney. But will the doctor be able to see through the flaws during the kidney transplant?" "Well." Xiaofu thought about it and said, "We'll go look for this doctor. Just tell them that the kidney trafficking company case has just been closed, and they don't dare to operate in big hospitals. Also, Jiang Wen's kidney trafficking company has been destroyed, so he must have no more doctors in his place." "You're right, Jiang Wen, how dare you set me up. I'll give you a dog kidney and make you feel good." Pinliang was overjoyed at the thought of setting Jiang Wen up. "Xiaofu, I've just recovered from a serious illness, and I can't go out. I'll leave this to you. Contact a reliable illegal clinic and get a wild dog, preferably one with rabies. Don't worry, Liang bro, that's easy. I'll take care of it." Xiaofu patted his chest and promised. "Yeah, I still have 30,000 in my bank card, it should be enough." Pinliang passed a bank card to Xiaofu. "This is my pocket money my dad gave me this month." "Hey! Why are we using our own money? Jiang Wen should be the one paying for the kidney, and he has to give you some nutrition fees too, right?" Xiaofu said. "That's right, why are we spending money? Let's just ask him for money. This is great, not only did we give him a dog kidney, we can also get some money from him." Pinliang said happily, "Xiaofu, you've become smarter recently. Man, I've matured a lot after all these things." Xiaofu nodded. "From now on, we need to do things with intelligence. We can't be like before, doing things without thinking. Yeah, but about giving Jiangwen a dog kidney, we have to keep this a secret. We can't let Jiangwen know. Pinliang said, although my dad is with Master Bing, we can't mess with Jiangwen's background. Chapter 811. Chapter 0811, Mischievous Yushu. It was another weekend. Lin Yi woke up to find the Miss and Yushu already awake, watching TV on the sofa in the living room. Meng Yao poked Yushu with a finger when Lin Yi came out. Oh, shield bro, Yao Yao's prepared a lunchbox of love for you. Go eat it. Yushu said after getting Meng Yao's signal. Shu, what are you talking about? Breakfast with love. Meng Yao was a little pissed off. She was the one who called for KFC breakfast, why was it breakfast with love? I don't know anything. You poked me with your finger, so I thought you were hinting me to say that. Yushu said innocently. Ahem. Meng Yao had no choice but to look at Lin Yi. Shu and I called for KFC breakfast since you weren't awake this morning. There's still some leftovers. Go eat it. In actuality, Meng Yao wanted to make it herself, but she gave up on the idea after her last failure. The popcorn porridge and egg would be inedible if she didn't do it. Thanks. Lin Yi nodded at Meng Yao, knowing that she was being tough on the outside but soft on the inside. The rest of the food on the table was obviously unopened, and it wasn't as Meng Yao had said. She'd ordered it just for him. Lin Yi went to eat, leaving Meng Yao and Yushu alone in the living room. Yao Yao, you were the one who ordered it for Shield Bro. Why didn't you tell him? Yushu felt that Meng Yao was doing something wrong. It's not a big deal, I just brought it along. Meng Yao didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Oh. Yao Yao, you can't do this. We won't have anything to play with when Shield Bro leaves. Yushu was a little disappointed. Meng Yao's attitude was hard to understand. Meng Yao shrugged and didn't say anything as she continued watching TV. TV shows these days are getting boring. Cartoons are getting more and more adult-oriented. I don't understand it anymore. Yushu flipped through a couple of channels, but nothing caught her eye. No Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf today. I don't know. Meng Yao was bored as well. How did Lin Yi spend his weekends before he came? Yao Yao sis, are we going shopping or playing at home today? It's been a while since we've played at home, maybe we should play games. Yushu suggested after turning off the TV. Make a game. What game? Do you have any ideas? Meng Yao asked. Ugh. Yushu couldn't think of anything to play with when she saw Lin Yi walking over after finishing his breakfast. Lin Yi was a fast eater, especially since he didn't have a lot for breakfast. Shield Bro, this is so boring. Do you have any fun suggestions? Yushu looked at Lin Yi. What are you playing? It's May Day soon. Let's work. Lin Yi said as he looked at the villa's windows. The windows are dirty. Let's clean up the villa if we have time. Oh, Yao Yao sis, let's do some work then. It sounds fun. Yushu thought that it would be fun to play with Lin Yi. Okay. Meng Yao nodded. Faubert used to hire cleaners to clean the villa, and she had never done it herself before. Meng Yao heard that all virtuous women knew how to do housework, so it wasn't a bad idea to do it herself. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, went upstairs to change into sportswear. Lin Yi, on the other hand, went to the storage room at the back of the villa to find 2 water hoses for watering the plants and washing the cars. They weren't high-pressure hoses, but they were more than enough to clean up the house. Shield Bro, what do you need us to do? Yushu asked impatiently. She had never cleaned a house herself before. I'll go get rid of the weeds. You two have a water cannon each. You just need to wash the villa. Lin Yi gave the two girls some simple jobs, telling them to get rid of the weeds. Lin Yi wasn't at ease, he didn't want the weeds to get rid of them and ruin the good lawn instead. Oh, okay. Yushu tried it out. It was really fun. It was like the water cannon she played with when she was young. Yao Yao sis, cleaning a house is so fun. Don't talk. Let's get to work. Meng Yao thought that it was fun. It was as if she had returned to her childhood. She and Yushu had a water cannon each, and they would shoot water all over each other. In the end, both of them were drenched and had to go home to take a hot shower. The two of them had been bathing in the same tub, and for some reason, they'd gotten into a fight again, filling the bathroom with water. Neither of them had cleaned it up, and Pengzhan had slipped and fallen when he went to the washroom that night. I'm a painter. I'm good at painting. I want to make the new house more beautiful. After painting the roof, I'll paint the walls. Yushu sang happily. She was so excited that the water cannon tilted, and the water that hit the villa's wall reflected back at Mingyao's face. Shoo! Mingyao's face was full of water, and she was a little angry. What are you doing? Why did you shoot me with the water cannon? Oh, Yao Yao sis, I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Yushu looked at Mingyao's wet face. She found it funny, but she held back her laughter and apologized carefully. Be more careful next time. Mengyao glared at Yushu as she continued painting the house. Yushu turned around and focused on painting the house. After a while, she glanced at Mengyao out of the corner of her eye. She smiled mischievously when she realized that Mengyao was focused on painting a piece of glass. She pretended that it wasn't a big deal, and with a tilt of her hand, the water shot back at Mengyao again like it was raining cats and dogs. Shoo! Mengyao was about to explode. Are you blind? What are you doing? Ugh! I'm sorry, Yao Yao sis, I didn't do it on purpose. Yushu put down the water cannon and looked at Mengyao innocently. I really didn't do it on purpose, Yao Yao sis. Maybe you can spray me too. Forget it, just be more careful next time. Chapter 8:12. A thief calling a thief. Yushu was dancing with joy at the success of her plan as she pretended to be focused on cleaning the house. After a while, she glanced at Mengyao out of the corner of her eyes and couldn't help but giggle. The water gun in her hand tilted once more. Aw! Mengyao screamed again as she turned around and glared at Yushu. Shoo, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, Yao Yao, I wasn't paying attention. Yushu said carefully. You weren't paying attention, okay? Can't you be more careful next time? Mengyao didn't have the heart to continue scolding Yushu after seeing her like this. She shook her head. Let's get back to work. Oh. Yushu was glad that she dodged another bullet. Mengyao suspected that Yushu was doing it on purpose. The girl was a mischievous girl. She used to do all kinds of naughty things when they were kids, so Mengyao learned to be smart this time. Although she continued to use the water gun to wash the house, she kept looking at what Yushu was doing with the corner of her eyes. After a while, Mengyao saw Yushu sneaking a peek at her. Seeing that she wasn't reacting, Yushu grinned and tilted the water gun in her hand. Mengyao was pissed off. Shoo, how dare you ambush me like this? Mengyao took a step back and aimed the water gun at Yushu. The water in the gun sprayed Yushu's head and face, making her look like a drowned rat. Ah! Yushu screamed as she dropped the water gun and tried to block Mingyao's water with her hands, but that wasn't something that could be blocked with just hands. In an instant, Yushu was drenched from head to toe in the spray. Mengyao didn't have the heart to keep spraying her, fearing that she'd catch a cold. She stopped and glared at Yushu angrily. Yao Yao, why did you pour water on me? Whoa! You're killing me. Yushu wiped the water off her head as if she'd just walked out of the rain. Little Shu, how dare you call someone else a thief? What did you come here for? Mengyao asked, amused and annoyed by Yushu's aggrieved look. Nothing much. I'm here to paint houses. Yushu looked at Mengyao, confused. You sprayed me with that water gun of yours when I wasn't paying attention. Don't think I didn't see it. Seeing that Yushu wasn't admitting to it, Mengyao reached out to pinch Yushu's cheeks angrily, pulling Yushu's face away. Ouch, it hurts. Yushu yelped, embarrassed. You found out, Yao Yao. Humph, didn't you say you didn't do it on purpose? Mengyao realized that Yushu was still so mischievous. What a kid. I just thought it was fun. Yushu stuck her tongue out in embarrassment when Mengyao saw through her scheme. Yao Yao, I was just joking. You're not mad, are you? Mad at you? If I was mad at you, I'd be pissed to death by you since I was young. Mengyao said, speechless. I don't think you should be called Prophet Shu, Spy Shu, Negotiator Shu, or something like that. Call yourself Troublemaker Shu. Hurry up and paint the walls. Oh, Yao Yao, you know me so well. Why don't we have a water fight first? It's been a long time, more than 10 years, right? Yushu said with nostalgia. Play. Mengyao was actually quite lonely. She didn't have much to do, and she didn't have many entertainment activities. Other than watching TV with Shu at home and playing video games, she rarely went to any entertainment places. One reason was that the two of them were in their 12th year of high school, they didn't have much time to play outside of studying, and the other reason was that the entertainment places were filled with all sorts of people. Mengyao and Yushu didn't really dare go there. Now that they had Lin Yi, it wasn't a problem, but where would they get the chance to go? So, Yushu's suggestion of a water fight moved Mengyao. How do you want to play? Let's continue painting the walls, and then secretly spray each other with the water gun. Let's see who has faster reflexes. Yushu suggested. Mengyao was speechless. Sneak attack. She really wasn't Yushu's match. But seeing how excited Shu was, Mengyao didn't want to reject. The two of them really didn't have much fun, so she nodded. Alright, but let's make this clear. Spray once is enough. We can't keep on spraying. Okay. Are we starting? Yushu nodded excitedly. Not yet, we'll start when I say so. Mengyao wanted to take the initiative. Oh. Okay. Yushu continued painting the walls of the villa, and she kept looking at Mengyao. She panicked when she saw Mengyao seriously painting the walls. Why wasn't she starting yet? Did Sister Yao Yao forget that we are going to have a water fight? Yushu was panicking. She was just about to ask when Mengyao said, let's start. Yushu froze, and before she could react, Mengyao sprayed water all over her face. She screamed. Yao Yao, you're cheating. Humph, I need to use extreme methods to deal with troublemakers like you. How else would I get to spray you? Mengyao said confidently. You're the one who wanted to play. Haven't you heard of the saying, all's fair in war? Oh. Okay then. Yushu could only accept her bad luck. Let's continue. And so, Yushu and Mengyao continued playing with the water gun. Both of them had wins and losses, but they were having a lot of fun. Lin Yi, on the other hand, saw the Miss and Yushu playing with the lawnmower. He didn't pay much attention to them, though. After all, the two of them had been cooped up in the house for too long. They needed to find a way to vent. Otherwise, the boring 12th grade life would suffocate them to death. Lin Yi, on the other hand, had too many things to do every day. He didn't think that it was inappropriate, but the Miss and Yushu were different. Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't interfere with the two girls' occasional venting. He didn't need them to do any manual labor. It was outside the villa, anyway, it didn't matter if it was clean or not. Chapter 813. Chapter 0813, Sneak Attack on Lin Yi, huh? Meng Yao paused. Sneak attack on Lin Yi. With a water gun. That's not good, is it? Why not? We can do it secretly and pretend that we didn't do it on purpose, right? Yushu smiled mischievously. Meng Yao frowned. He's weeding, how can we mess around with him? It's fine, it's hot now, it's good to get rid of the heat. Look at our clothes, aren't they drying up? Yushu said as she shook off the sportswear she was wearing. It was fortunate that they were both wearing sportswear, otherwise they'd be completely exposed if they'd only worn a thin shirt at home. That's not good, is it? Meng Yao wasn't as crazy as Yushu. Yao, think about it. You've already sprayed Shield Bro's face all over in the hospital. What's the difference now? Yushu said to Meng Yao. What are you talking about? Meng Yao was a little embarrassed when Yushu brought up that embarrassing moment. She glared at Yushu as if someone stepped on her tail. Don't ever bring that up again. Oh, Yao sis, don't be shy. I heard that a lot of guys like this, I think it's called Tide or something, maybe Shield Bro likes it too. Yushu said. Us sisters need to have something special in order to defeat Tang Yun. If you continue talking nonsense, I'm going to ignore you. Meng Yao reached out to pinch Yushu's face. Shu, you've become more perverted recently, you weren't like this before. Oh, maybe I'm entering puberty. Yushu said casually. Puberty. Shu, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you're already 18. Meng Yao looked at Yushu and shook her head. Look at your breasts, they've stopped developing, it means that you're done with puberty. Says who? Impossible. I thought they got bigger yesterday. Yushu puffed her chest out, almost bursting her sportswear out of the way. Meng Yao was envious. Why was Shu's breasts so big? Wouldn't he be perfect if he shared a little with himself? Meng Yao said jealously, that's because you've been eating too much lately. You've gotten fatter. Oh, okay. My boobs are getting bigger. Yushu nodded. Meng Yao gritted her teeth. What was the difference between a fat chest and a big chest? The topic has gone astray. Anyway, I don't want to scold Lin Yi. Oh, Yao, if you don't want to come, I'll come myself. But you have to keep it a secret for me, Yushu said. All right. Meng Yao nodded. She didn't want to get involved, so she just watched as Yushu messed around. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was mowing lawnmows. The mower was loud, but he could still hear Meng Yao and Yushu's conversation. He felt that these two girls were quite cute, and he'd be able to enjoy life if he could guard them every day. At first, Lin Yi didn't care when he saw Meng Yao and Yushu playing with the water gun, but he didn't expect Shu to change her target to him. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but he pretended that he didn't hear anything and continued mowing. Yushu and Meng Yao continued mowing the wall, but Yushu was already looking for a chance to spray Lin Yi with the water gun. Yao, look at that wall. It's very dirty. The water gun doesn't seem to have enough pressure. It can't wash it. With that, Yushu raised the water gun as high as she could, as if she was trying her best to make the gun shoot higher and farther. A stream of water shot towards the lawn where Lin Yi was. However, just when the water was about to hit Lin Yi moved slightly, as if he had just mowed the grass. The water sprayed all over the lawn, but there was no water on Lin Yi at all. Ha! Yushu didn't expect Lin Yi to be so lucky. He dodged the water just when it was about to hit him. Before, Yushu had been observing Lin Yi secretly. She noticed that Lin Yi had a pattern when he mowed the grass. After changing a position, he would stay at the same place for a while. The interval was about 5 minutes. However, who would have thought that Lin Yi's mowing time was shortened this time? It only took him 3 minutes. What's wrong? Lin Yi turned his head and looked at Yushu and Meng Yao. What are you guys doing? Nothing. She wanted to wash the wall a little higher and didn't control her strength well. Meng Yao explained nervously when she heard Lin Yi's question. Oh. Lin Yi nodded and didn't say anything else. He turned back and continued mowing. Meng Yao glared at Yushu. She thought, you caused trouble, and you want me to explain for you? Yushu stuck her tongue out. I didn't aim well this time, but I won't next time. Meng Yao didn't say anything and continued to clean the wall. Yushu, on the other hand, continued to observe Lin Yi as she cleaned the wall. This time, Yushu didn't notify Lin Yi in advance. She didn't want to explain that the wall was a little dirty like last time. Instead, she suddenly changed the direction of the water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. However, this time, Lin Yi coincidentally squatted down as if he was checking the condition of the grass under him. He dodged Yushu's water gun directly. The water from the water gun swept over Lin Yi's head. Only a few drops of water fell on Lin Yi's back. It didn't seem to affect him much. Huh? Yushu was surprised. How was that possible? Shield Bro dodged it again. But, how could it be so coincidental? Shield Bro is so lucky. Meng Yao frowned. She seemed to have sensed something. Perhaps Lin Yi did it on purpose. She thought that Lin Yi's skills were more than enough to dodge the water spray. Alright, Shu, stop messing around. Oh. Yushu wasn't satisfied, but there was nothing she could do after hearing Meng Yao's words. She could only nod. After a while, Yushu wasn't willing to give up. She didn't believe that it would be a coincidence every time. She didn't believe that Lin Yi could dodge her water gun every time. So, she continued to observe Lin Yi. It wasn't long before she found a new opportunity. She saw Lin Yi turn around and start removing the weeds in another part of the field. Yushu felt that this was her chance. Lin Yi couldn't have eyes on his back, could he? Chapter 8:14. Reality and ideals, but Yushu was going to be disappointed again. This time, Lin Yi coincidentally turned around and went to Yushu's yellow beetle. He opened the door and got in. As a result, not a single drop of water fell on Lin Yi's body, it was all blocked by the car, and Lin Yi didn't get wet at all. Ah! Yushu was going crazy. How was this possible? How was this possible? Why was Shield Bro so lucky? Shoo, stop messing around. Lin Yi must have noticed you already. Meng Yao's suspicions were confirmed after seeing the current situation. Lin Yi must have noticed Shu's intentions, but he couldn't say anything about it. That was why he dodged the attacks of the water. Ah! But why does he have eyes on the back of his head? Yushu couldn't believe it. I don't know, but I think Lin Yi isn't a normal person. Meng Yao shook her head and looked at Lin Yi's direction. She could see a handsome face through the window of the beetle. His eyes were dazed. The more she looked at this man, the more comfortable she felt. She didn't feel repulsed when she first saw him. Now, she felt that Lin Yi wasn't a country bumpkin at all. He didn't look like a laborer. He was still wearing the same tattered singlet he'd worn when he'd first arrived, but Meng Yao felt that her attitude had changed. She didn't know if it was because she had accepted Lin Yi's existence, or if there was some other reason behind it. Maybe she liked Lin Yi a little. Like him? Impossible. How could she like a womanizer? Oh, I knew Shield Bro wasn't a normal person, but why would he be your follower? Yushu nodded as she asked Lin Yi curiously. I don't know how Daddy invited him. Meng Yao shrugged. But I think that Lin Yi will soar into the sky sooner or later. We need to cherish the time we have now. Maybe one day, Lin Yi won't be in this villa anymore. Oh, then Yao Yao sis, do you want to keep Shield Bro? Yushu nodded, not really understanding. This is not something we can decide. Can $30,000 really keep him? Even 300,000 isn't enough for him to leave. Meng Yao shook her head. Oh, I don't understand. I only know that Yao Yao sis has become Shield Bro's first wife, and he can only stay in the villa. Yushu said. I don't think that money is important anymore. What? That's easy. Meng Yao smiled. Lin Yi has a girlfriend. But, don't all powerful men have several wives? Aren't we going to marry the same man? Yushu asked. There's always a difference between reality and dreams. Meng Yao pinched Yushu's cheek. It felt really good after pinching her cheeks a couple of times. They were chubby and easy to pinch. Oh. Yushu watched as Lin Yi drove the car from one side of the lawn to the other. She felt that Shield Bro could predict the future. He was even better than her. Shield Bro, what are you doing? Yushu couldn't help but ask. Weeding, there are weeds under the car, I'm driving the car to the other side. Lin Yi got out of the car and looked at Yushu with a faint smile. What are you doing? Watering the lawn. Oh. Yushu was a little embarrassed. She could tell from Lin Yi's expression that Lin Yi had found out about her naughtiness. Shield Bro, I actually wanted to sneak a shot at you. Yushu didn't hide it anymore. She admitted it since Lin Yi saw through her. No matter how I look at it, it looks like you did it on purpose. Lin Yi smiled. He wasn't angry at Yushu. Getting angry with Yushu wasn't something Lin Yi could do. Pinliang would have been kicked to the southern sky gate long ago if he'd done something like that. Man, there's no sense of accomplishment. Shield Bro, would it kill you to get sprayed by me? Yushu was a little disappointed. Yushu's words were a little flirtatious, and it reminded Lin Yi of the scene in the hospital. He looked at Meng Yao subconsciously. The Miss heart tightened when she saw Lin Yi looking at her. She remembered something as well, and her face reddened. She glared at Lin Yi. What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? Nothing. Lin Yi shook his head. But the more Lin Yi acted like this, the more Meng Yao felt embarrassed. She remembered the scene in the hospital and the ambiguous smile on Lin Yi's face. Meng Yao picked up her water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. Lin Yi didn't defend himself. He didn't expect the miss to attack him all of a sudden. He smiled bitterly. It seemed like the miss was a little embarrassed. He dodged to the side, but Meng Yao's water gun still managed to get some water on him. Yushu cheered when she saw Meng Yao attacking Lin Yi. She picked up her water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. Yao Yao, let's see who can spray Shield Bro first. Lin Yi was good at fighting, but there was no way he could dodge Meng Yao and Yushu's water gun attacks. He couldn't just go underground, could he? But seeing how happy the two were playing, Lin Yi didn't dodge and let them do whatever they wanted. But at this moment, a woman's scream came from outside the villa's fence. Bastard! Which little bastard drenched me with water? Meng Yao and Yushu jumped in fright, turning the water gun in their hands as they looked in the direction of the sound. There was a convertible Porsche Boxster parked in front of their villa, and in the driver's seat was a woman dressed very provocatively. Her hair was wet, and the thick makeup on her face was messed up as well. It looked like she was wearing a face from an opera. As it turned out, Meng Yao and Yushu had gotten a little too heated, and she'd been too focused on spraying Lin Yi with her water gun that she hadn't noticed the sports car passing by the villa. The water gun had hit the woman's head and face. Meng Yao and Yushu realized that they'd gotten into trouble as well. The woman's words weren't very pleasing to the ears, but the miss wasn't an arrogant person to begin with. She walked over to the Boxster woman and apologized. "I'm so sorry, we accidentally drenched you with water. We're really sorry." Chapter 8:15. The identity of a rich. She raised her head and saw that it was 2 cleaners and a gardener who did this. She was furious, ignoring the fact that one of the cleaners came over to apologize. She pointed at Meng Yao's nose and started cursing, "You little bitch, do you know who I am? How dare you pour water on me? Do you want to die?" It was no wonder that Huli mistook Meng Yao and Yushu for cleaners. They were wearing sportswear, and their faces and hair were a mess from the water. At first glance, one would think that they were working girls from the countryside who came to the city to work. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was dressed like a laborer with a lawn mower in his hand. What else could he be if he wasn't a gardener? And so in Go Huli's first year, these 2 cleaners and a gardener took advantage of the fact that the owner wasn't around to have a water fight. Now that she was involved, how could she let them go so easily? Even if they were the residents of the villa, Go Huli would still feel that she was above them, let alone a couple of cleaners with no background. "She's already apologized, please watch your words." Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't stand by and watch Meng Yao get bullied. He walked over and spoke to the woman. Although the woman was a little rude, it was the miss and Shu Shu who were in the wrong, so Lin Yi didn't say much. "Apologize? What's the use of apologizing?" Huli glared at Lin Yi. "I say, you're just a gardener, what right do you have to talk to me? You small fries don't even have the right to talk to me, you don't even have the right to fart." Lin Yi frowned. This woman's words were really unpleasant. If it weren't for the fact that they were in the wrong, Lin Yi would have ignored her already. But Lin Yi wasn't an unreasonable person. "We've already apologized, what else do you want? What should I do? Do you know how much this dress costs? I just bought it yesterday, and it's the first time I've worn it. It's an international brand, have you seen it before?" Go Huli pointed at her clothes and roared, "You wouldn't know even if I told you. We can compensate you with one of your clothes." Lin Yi said lightly. If she wasn't a woman, Lin Yi might have been impatient. "Compensate? What are you going to use as compensation? Do you know how much my clothes cost? How much is your monthly salary? You wouldn't be able to afford it even if you sold yourselves." Go Huli smiled coldly, her eyes filled with disdain. "Just tell me how much it is." Meng Yao hated this woman from the bottom of her heart. Although it was indeed her fault, she had already apologized and was willing to bear the woman's loss. But this woman still wouldn't let it go. Meng Yao didn't want to let it go. "How much?" 38,000. Go Huli said proudly. "Oh, Lin Yi, go get her 40,000. Meng Yao frowned as she turned to Lin Yi. 40,000. How arrogant, I didn't think that you slaves working for a rich family would be so rich. I see that you look like a vixen, you probably sleep with them at night, right?" Go Huli mocked. "Who's a slave?" Meng Yao wasn't happy. "I've already compensated you, you can take the money and leave. We still need to paint the house." "Humph. Compensate. Losing money is enough. My clothes are international brands, you can't buy them even if you have money." Go Huli wasn't happy with Meng Yao's attitude. A little vixen dared to talk to a rich wife like her like that. It pissed her off. "Then how did you buy it?" Lin Yi looked at the miss and signaled her to keep quiet and let him handle it. He then turned to Go Huli, if you can buy it, so can we. If you don't want money, I can buy you the exact same one. Lin Yi couldn't be blamed for boasting like this. With a follower like Fatty Lai, Lin Yi didn't believe that he couldn't buy the clothes this woman could buy. Humph. I bought my clothes from the VIP counter in Pengzhan Business Tower. This is a limited edition international brand, it's only sold to VIP members. You can't buy it even if you have money. Go Huli sneered in disdain, and you have to be a Diamond Card member to buy it. You're a Diamond Card member. Lin Yi heard Go Huli's words and found it funny. You're telling the Miss of Pengzhan Industries that she can't buy things from Pengzhan Business Tower? Why does it sound like an idiot? Of course. Only people with my status can get this diamond card. I heard that the entire Pengzhan Industries only gives out a few dozen of these cards. Go Huli said proudly, my status isn't something you small people can compare to. You can only look up to me. Lin Yi didn't understand. Why would Pengzhan give a membership card to an idiot like her? Yushu, on the other hand, probably thought of the same thing. She asked Meng Yao curiously, Yao Yao sis, why would Uncle Chu give a membership card to an idiot like her? Maybe she's rich. She's always spending her money, Meng Yao said. What are you two mumbling about? Meng Yao and Yushu's voices weren't loud, but Go Huli still heard them. She just couldn't hear them clearly, so she asked angrily. Then, may I ask who are you? Lin Yi didn't give Go Huli a chance to ask. Me? I'm from Yanjing. Go Huli patted her Porsche Boxster, see. Yanjing's license plate, 8888. Only rich people like us can get a plate like this. You little bums from small places can never understand the life of the upper class. Oh, that's amazing. Lin Yi nodded cooperatively, alright, you're done acting cool. Now, let's talk about your clothes. Who are you calling acting cool? Go Huli heard Lin Yi's sarcasm and became furious. What did he mean by acting cool? Although she was acting cool and enjoyed the process of stepping on small people, Lin Yi's words made her lose face. It's nothing. Do you want to solve your clothes or not? Lin Yi asked. Chapter 8:16. Terms of the bet. She had just bought a villa in this district, but it was a second-hand villa and the previous owner hadn't lived here for a long time. She noticed that the villa was very dusty and the yard was full of weeds. So, she wanted Meng Yao, Yushu, and Lin Yi to work for her for free. This way, she could humiliate them. You can find a cleaner to do it, we'll pay for it. Lin Yi said faintly. Pay? Humph, you don't want to do it. Fine, then buy me a set of clothes that looks exactly like it. Go Huli acted like she had Lin Yi in the bag, go buy it. Only Diamond Card members can buy it. Oh, then if we buy it, will we just forget about it? Lin Yi couldn't be bothered to argue with this shrew. Forget about it? Humph, if you guys can buy it, I'll pull my head off. Go Huli knew very well what was going on with the clothes, so she dared to say something like that. When she bought it yesterday, other than the sample in the display window, this was the only one left. Pengzhan Commercial Building wouldn't sell the sample in the display window, and normal staff didn't have the authority to open the display window. The display window had a fixed period of time, and they wouldn't open it before the expiration date. That was why Go Huli dared to say that if Lin Yi could buy it, she would pull her head off. Of course, this wasn't just for show. She was going to give Lin Yi even harsher terms later on. Oh, this is fun. Yao Yao sis, can people still live after they pull their heads off? Yushu asked curiously. I don't know, maybe some people have special abilities. I heard that some people can separate their heads from their bodies. Meng Yao shook her head. Oh, that's fun. Shield bro, hurry up and buy her the same set of clothes and let her pull her head off. Yushu said expectantly. Humph. Wait, what if you can't buy the exact same clothes? Go Huli was annoyed at Yushu's words, but for the sake of what she was going to say next, she had to hold it in. Oh, but we don't know how to twist our heads off. We'd be dead if we did. Yushu said, shaking her head. Humph, I don't want you to break your heads. As long as you can't buy the same clothes as mine, then you have to be free labor for my family for a year. How about that? You have to clean my house and weed every day. Whatever I tell you to do, you have to do it. Go Huli said. Okay, let's go buy it then, I want to see the head-twisting performance. Yushu nodded eagerly, agreeing to Huli's request. Lin Yi wanted to negotiate a little more because Lin Yi didn't like to do things he wasn't sure of. He wanted to get the brand and model of Go Huli's clothes and call Faubert to confirm it before going to buy the clothes. But Yushu had already agreed, so Lin Yi couldn't change it. Even if Pengzhan Business Building was gone, Lin Yi could still order Fatty Lai to buy the clothes. There wasn't a time limit anyway, so it was a loophole that could be exploited. Humph, let's go, what are you waiting for? Come with me to buy clothes. Go Huli laughed coldly, right, how are you guys going? My car can't fit so many of you. We have a car. Lin Yi pointed at Meng Yao's beetle and said to Go Huli. Go Huli looked at the beetle. Although she was surprised, she didn't think too much about it. Your master is quite rich, isn't he? He bought a car for you slaves, not bad. It's for you to buy groceries, isn't it? Meng Yao glared at Go Huli and didn't say anything. It was useless to say anything now, they had to buy the clothes first. Meng Yao and Yushu got on the beetle, and Lin Yi drove out of the villa, following Go Huli's Boxster to the business district. It was the weekend, so the business district was full of cars. There were no more parking spaces in front of Pengzhan Business Building, but Go Huli had a membership card. She got off the car and waved the diamond card in her hand, showing off to Lin Yi, I'm a member here, so I can park in the special underground parking lot. There are always empty spaces, you guys find a place to park, but be careful not to get stickers. With that, Go Huli returned to the car and drove to the underground parking lot of Pengzhan Commercial Building. However, Lin Yi didn't look for a parking space. He followed Go Huli into the underground parking lot. Go Huli laughed coldly in her heart. Follow him, although my diamond card allows me to bring a car with me, I won't let you use it. You guys will be kicked out by the security later, it'll be so embarrassing. Miss, are you a VIP of Pengzhan Business Building? Go Huli drove the car to the fence of the underground parking lot and a security guard walked over and asked respectfully. Of course. Go Huli took out her membership card and said, I have a diamond card. Welcome, respected diamond VIP, Ms. Go. The guard took Huli's card and swiped it on the machine on the side. Huli's information was displayed. Diamond VIPs were rare, so the security guard was very respectful. These diamond VIPs were all rich and powerful people, and one look at Go Huli and they knew that she wasn't someone to be messed with. Excuse me, is the car behind you with you, Miss Go? The security guard looked at the beetle behind Go Huli's car and asked, You have a diamond card, so you can bring another car into the parking lot for free. This is your privilege. No, it has nothing to do with me. Go Huli took back her membership card and purposely raised her voice so that Lin Yi and the others could hear her. She wanted to humiliate Lin Yi and the others, to let these lowly servants know the difference between them and rich people like her, the difference between them and high-class people. Okay, please take care. The security guard nodded and opened the fence, allowing Go Huli's car to drive into the underground VIP parking lot of Pengzhan Business Building. However, after Go Huli drove the car over the fence and entered the parking lot, she didn't look for a parking space immediately. Instead, she parked the car at the side and waited to see Lin Yi and the others make a fool of themselves. She wanted to see how Lin Yi and the others would be kicked out by the security guard. Chapter 8:17. 3 diamond cards. Lin Yi drove the car and stopped in front of the fence. The security guard walked over with a smile on his face and asked respectfully, "Hello sir, are you a VIP of Pingjian Commerce?" "I think so," Lin Yi said as he rummaged through his wallet. The security guard paused. "I think so." Was he or wasn't he? Although he was confused, he didn't show any disdain on his face. It could be seen that Pingjian Industries did a good job in training their employees. Meng Yao found it funny. Even if Lin Yi didn't have a VIP card, he could still come in after giving Faubert a call. Plus, he had a membership card. But Meng Yao knew what Lin Yi was thinking when she saw Go Huli not far away. He was probably messing with Go Huli on purpose. As expected, Go Huli found it funny when she saw Lin Yi pretending to look for a membership card after the security guard asked. She got out of the car and walked over to the fence. The heavy makeup on Go Huli's face had been washed away by Meng Yao and Yushu's water gun. She had to wipe it off with a wet wipe in the car. Without the heavy makeup, Go Huli's face showed the signs of aging. She was already in her 30s, no longer young. But she was a mistress who married into a rich family. She had an indescribable feeling of superiority. She always wanted to show that she was different from others. "What are you looking for? Are you looking for a membership card?" Go Huli smiled coldly as she looked at Lin Yi looking for something. She said to the security guard, "You don't need to wait for him to look for it. Just kick him out. I've seen a lot of people like him who don't have the strength to act cool. He'll pretend to look for it for a long time and then tell you that he forgot his membership card. Then, he'll drive away as if nothing happened. He doesn't even have a membership card." The security guard was speechless. What did it have to do with you whether he had a membership card or not? You don't know him, right? If you continue to spout nonsense here and someone gets out of the car to beat you up, should I stop them or not? Although the security guards had seen people who forgot to bring their membership cards, the security guards always maintained a respectful attitude towards them. Who knew if they really forgot to bring it? "I think I forgot to bring it." Lin Yi shrugged and looked at the security guard apologetically. "Ha!" Huli heard Lin Yi's words and laughed, "Wahahaha. Security, what did I say? They don't have membership cards, right? I've already told you that they're here to act cool and not because they really have a membership card. I asked you to kick them out, and you still don't believe me. How was it? Am I right? Don't be fooled by the fact that the 3 of them drove here. In fact, they are all low-class people. The man in front is a gardener, and the 2 women in the back are little nannies. They are all slaves. How could they come to such a high-end place to shop? Oh, my membership card seems to be on the front passenger seat visor. Let me look for it." Yushu's body was small. She leaned over from the back of the car and looked for it on the visor. However, Meng Yao took out a membership card from her wallet and passed it to the security guard with a smile on her face. "Use mine." Meng Yao saw that Lin Yi clearly had a membership card in his wallet, but he said that he didn't find it. That meant that he was playing around with Huli, causing her to get out of the car and talk nonsense. Meng Yao didn't mind taking out her membership card to embarrass Huli. As expected, Huli's face changed when she saw Meng Yao take out a membership card. This little nanny had a membership card. How was that possible? She quickly said, "Hey, security, look carefully. Don't be fooled by them. They are all low-class people. How could they have a membership card here? The security guard saw that Meng Yao was very pretty and had a sweet smile. He had a good impression of her. He thought that her membership card was real and theirs was fake. What kind of logic was that? However, Yushu also found her membership card and passed it to the security guard. I found mine too. The security guard was stunned. He looked at Yushu's membership card. It was actually a diamond card. He was really a little scared. What kind of customers were these? They actually had 2 diamond membership cards? Although the security guard was one of the lowest employees in the group, he was in charge of receiving members who came to Pingzhan Business Building to shop. He had seen many membership cards and he knew how rare diamond cards were. Sometimes, he wouldn't even see a diamond card for a few days. But today, the passengers in this inconspicuous beetle actually took out 2 diamond cards. However, what surprised him even more was that Lin Yi also took out a membership card from his wallet and passed it to the security guard. He smiled. I'm sorry, I found mine too. But it seems like I won't need it anymore. The security guard looked at Lin Yi's membership card. It was actually a diamond card. He was dumbfounded. It can't be, right? 3 diamond membership cards? How was that possible? He couldn't believe what he saw. He rubbed his eyes and confirmed that he didn't see wrongly. He said in shock, all 3 are diamond membership cards. 1 is enough, there's no need for so many. What? Go Huli heard the security guard's words and was stunned. However, she wouldn't believe that Lin Yi and the others would take out 3 membership cards. She shouted in disbelief, ha 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 ha, isn't this too fake? 3 diamond membership cards? How is that possible? Who are you lying to? Pingzhan Business Building only gave out a few dozen diamond membership cards. How can you have 3? Security guard, do you think it's possible? Although the security guard was confused, he was also shocked by Lin Yi and the others. He couldn't believe that a car could take out 3 membership cards. However, the membership cards didn't look any different from the real ones. So, although the security guard was shocked, he didn't show any abnormal expression. After all, the authenticity of the membership card could be seen by swiping it on the machine. He wasn't in a hurry to verify the authenticity of the card. Sir, miss, just 1 card is enough. The security guard took the membership card from Meng Yao, who handed it to him first. He swiped it on the machine beside him. Instantly, the card's level and details of the cardholder appeared on the screen. Chapter 8:18. You have the right to file a complaint. The name, Chu Meng Yao, made the security guard feel suffocated. He knew what the fuck was. She was the miss of Pingzhan Industries. Among the employees of Pingzhan Industries, only a handful knew Meng Yao in person. Meng Yao didn't like to appear in public, and she rarely used her miss identity to show off her power in the industries under Pingzhan Industries. However, there were many who knew Chu Mingyao's name. As long as they worked in Pingzhan Industries for more than half a year, they would have heard of Chu Mengyao. This was also a topic that they would unintentionally bring up when they chatted with their colleagues. Everyone knew that Pingzhan had a beautiful daughter named Mengyao, but not many had seen her in person. That was why everyone was more curious about Mengyao, and the name was etched into everyone's minds. Although the security guard was one of the lowest positions in Pingzhan Industries, he would still talk about Chu Mengyao with his colleagues after meals. When he saw the name on the membership card, he immediately understood Chu Mingyao's identity. She was actually the miss of Pingzhan Industries. No wonder everyone around her had a diamond membership card. This wasn't strange at all. What kind of status did the Mrs. Friends have? They must be rich and powerful. It was natural for them to have a membership card from Pingzhan Industries. Miss Chu, thank you for your cooperation. Please keep the membership card. The security guard was a little excited as he returned the membership card to Chu Mengyao. Chu Mengyao didn't say anything. It was obvious that she didn't want to expose her identity. Even if the security guard knew, he didn't say anything. Chu Mengyao nodded and put away her membership card with a smile. The security guard was very excited when he saw Chu Mengyao's smile. The miss was so approachable. She even smiled at him. This was something he could show off to his colleagues after meals. However, he knew that the miss didn't have any emotions in her smile. Still, he was happy because in the eyes of these people, the miss was a high and mighty existence. Please come in, Diamond member Miss Chu. The security guard opened the fence and made a welcoming gesture, letting Lin Yi drive the car into the parking lot. Impossible. How could they have a membership card? It must be fake, right? Go Huli couldn't accept this fact. From her point of view, how could these small fries have a membership card of Pingzhan Business Tower? Moreover, he took out 3 of them at once. This was simply illogical. So he yelled at the security guard, "Hey, did you see wrong? Either that or you're playing favoritism. You saw that the girl was coquettish and smiled at you, so you let her go, right? I want to lodge a complaint against you." The security guard frowned. You're saying that Miss is coquettish? How reckless. However, the security guard had been through strict training. Although he was extremely dissatisfied with Go Huli, he still maintained a smile on his face. Ma'am, of course you have the right to complain, but the parking lot is fully monitored. I won't do anything illegal. Humph. Go Huli looked at the camera above the parking lot and humphed coldly. She returned to her car and drove to find a parking spot. At this point, even if she didn't want to believe it, she had to believe that the membership card Lin Yi and the others showed was the real one. Although she felt it was unbelievable, the truth happened in front of her eyes, and she had to believe it. The master of these brats treated them pretty well, didn't he? He actually gave each of them a membership card. From the looks of it, their master had some influence in the local area. But even so, Go Huli didn't care. Thinking of her man's family's huge influence, no matter how powerful the people in this small place were, could they be stronger than her man? They weren't on the same level at all. Go Huli parked her car, and Lin Yi also parked his car at the side. Don't think that you're so great just because you have a membership card. But, don't be happy too early. Go Huli had to accept the fact that Lin Yi and the others had membership cards, but she didn't care. So what if they had membership cards? Clothes were gone, and no one could buy them anymore. Lin Yi heard Go Huli's words and couldn't help but frown. Couldn't buy them anymore. Could it be that there was something else hidden in this? But naturally, he wouldn't ask Go Huli. Since they were already at Pingzhan skyscraper, everything would have to wait until they reached the top. Go Huli entered the elevator and saw Lin Yi, Meng Yao, and Yushu following behind her. She couldn't help but laugh coldly. What now? Do you want to embarrass yourself when you go up? Or do you want to go back now? Let me tell you, don't regret it once you go up. Oh, why would I regret it? I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Yushu was so happy that she was practically dancing with joy at the thought of Go Huli's head-twisting performance. Humph. Since you guys don't know how to appreciate my kindness, then don't blame me for being impolite. When the time comes, you guys will have to work hard. Go Huli felt that these people were unreasonable, especially Yushu. Why was she acting like a little psycho? The elevator went up slowly and finally stopped at the floor where clothes were sold. Go Huli stepped out of the elevator first and didn't stop at all. She strode towards the VIP area of luxury goods. Since Lin Yi and the others didn't know how to appreciate her kindness, then she'd make them give up. Lin Yi, she seems very confident. Meng Yao said worriedly to Lin Yi. I don't know, but it shouldn't be a problem. If I can't buy it here, I'll think of something else. Lin Yi shrugged. Naturally, he wouldn't let Meng Yao work for Go Huli's house. All right. Meng Yao could only nod as she pulled Yushu with her, following Lin Yi to the luxury goods area. The Miss and Shu would visit here as well. The Miss didn't have much of a concept of brands in her heart, and she wouldn't blindly chase after luxury goods. In her wardrobe, there were more mid-range brands. The Miss was a rather casual person. They came to the luxury goods area and Go Huli didn't say much. She found a shop assistant and pointed at her clothes. Do you still have the clothes I'm wearing? The shop assistant looked at Go Huli's clothes carefully and said, I'm sorry, miss, this style of clothes is sold out. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.